Yeah, once again on a Wednesday night. Hump Day edition, Outlaw Radio, politics as usual. My government name is actually Kevin A. Barnes Sr., and I'm the host of Outlaw Radio. So welcome to the show. It's a show about black people, and we're gonna talk about black people things. So buckle up if you're down. If you're not, then just move along. It's not for you. Not alone. Got my co-host with me, Mr. Carter. How does you on this good Wednesday evening?
I does well today. I does well. How about y'all out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor. Hey, mama, there go the CMOS man. Y'all better come on in. I'm also the one who brings you House of Vitality. You see that logo back there right behind me? House of Vitality, man. We got the best tea in the city. I don't care what nobody say.
Right. And one thing if you watch the show, that this brother runs his business. He's a businessman. He's a black entrepreneur, which is one of the four corners of the show. The spirit of do for self. It's why we have a platform, because it's literally the personification of not waiting but acting, right? Not sitting around thinking, oh, this is gonna come or that's gonna come or this. It's nah, I gotta do this right here, right now. So
Right
it's
now.
Outlaw Radio, man. So welcome to the show. I am like this is a great time. Like I'm never pessimistic as a black man. I'm super super hype to be alive at this time. And I'm going to explain why. We do have a number associated with the show, which is what? 262-202-5131. 262-202-5131. Everybody know we got a chat room. Our chat room pops. So shout out to y'all. If you're
No
listening,
doubt.
share the show. Share the show. Dion's already in the chat room. Dion, who is a brother of the show.
Our chat room
Said,
goes down days after the show.
It's just it never stops. It never stops. Take that. Take that. Take that. Yeah, Dion said, "Kev, what the fuck going on, man? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?" He said, "We need to run it. We need to run it on this motherfucker." Listen, it's a lot to talk about. That's why I was alluding to saying that this is a great time to be alive. But I am coming tonight with kind of like a question for my people, because we have been discussing this whole. First of all, we are socio-political. I don't know if a lot of people know what that means, Kamar. Our platform is socio-political because it's social commentary. It's being social. It's conversation, conversing. But then there's a lot of politics involved with the everyday kind of movement of us in this country. So we kind of mix those two together. I didn't make the word up, but our show fits it perfectly. So I'm saying all that to say we've been discussing politics in this country and the city and whatever and civics and all this kind of thing for the better of 10 years straight. So I feel like we're very, very qualified to talk about the election. And what I got to ask black people is, am I missing something? Am I missing something? Because I hear my people saying, this is why we shouldn't support the sister. This is why we shouldn't support Trump. But nobody's telling me who we should support. They're
Right.
saying there's other people running, but I've listened to them disqualify those individuals themselves. I heard somebody today talking about Cornel West is running, and they said he's pro-vaccine.
Yeah.
Eliminates him, right? So, but if you want to vote for him, you'll say, well, Kev, I ain't tripping on that. Right? And I said, well, go ahead. But what am I missing? What am I missing here? Because when people tell me they're going to show me how bad she was as an attorney general, prosecutor, what have you, it's no different than any attorney general, prosecutor, whatever. It's the same shit.
I kind of feel like that's an oxymoron, though, man, because everybody talking about we got to do something about crime. But then they say she wrong for locking motherfuckers up.
What's a contradiction for
That's
sure?
what I'm saying. It's like an oxymoron.
It's a contradiction for sure because, and Kamar, that is the illustration of what those conversations that we have on the show that are centered around criminal justice in our community and the dysfunction that we witness in our community. We say, okay, well, what do we do with these individuals who are displaying this antisocial behavior? Our solution here on the show is lock their ass up, right?
Right.
But there are those among us who would say, well, hold on, Kevin, ain't that simple because there's a bigger issue here. And if you're just going to start locking people up, then where does this stop at? Right. So that is the dichotomy. That is the balance. Like that's kind of like where we teeter on. And I think people may even misunderstand that I myself am not a Democrat. I am not a Republican either. I think we probably got the longest run of telling people consistently we are known as the party poopers. We poop on both parties because of their wanton neglect and egregious policy towards us. Ain't nobody like, I'm like, damn, did I get less black? Have I lost my black card, Kamar? Can I not come back to the picnic or the cookout now because I'm saying, hey, hold on, big picture, something to counter Trump. I'm going to get all into her selection of her vice presidential candidate versus Trump's. Their debate, there's rallies right now going on. But I keep hearing my people saying, no, don't vote for her. And it's funny. I'm watching, some content. And there's some dudes in Atlanta. I guess black people in Atlanta are really G for Trump. And they said, well, what do you like about him? He said, I like his policies because he stand on business. And I was like, what the fuck does that actually mean? Now, the border, immigration, something else we're going to talk about tonight. Black xenophobia. Black people are being very xenophobic right now. I love us, but I got to tell the truth about us. Real, welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Happy to be here. How y'all doing?
Absolutely great. Absolutely great.
That's good. I'm glad.
Wonderful, even. All right. There's, and then we have, okay, so here in Milwaukee, the murder of the brother at the Hilton Hotel, charging their ass, homicide, felony murder. Snoop Dogg say murder was the case that they gave me. Funny shit. I'm watching YouTube. I'm on Facebook, and I stumbled. I think shout out to Lockhart Media, man. I rock with Lockhart Media. We need to collab on some stuff. And I know the brother. We've had some very, very deep conversations about black media in Milwaukee. But there's an individual who's being charged. He is one of the individuals he wasn't a security guard. He was working the front desk. He supposedly. Yeah. He's a brother. He looks a little bit older, and he just shot his plea up and saying, I only did what I was told so I can keep my job. Now, this footage of what really happened inside the Hyatt has been released. Even Lil Buddy downtown. Even Lil Buddy. Y'all know I go hard. No Diddy. Pause, what have you, on the mayor. But even he said it was hard to watch it. It was hard to read the criminal complaint. Because of what this is murder.
That brother was screaming for help. How dare them niggas help that white man
dragged. He was
down?
He was dragged. He was dragged.
I can't stand to see a white person do a black person dirty, man. I swear I can't.
He was punched. He was kicked. He was dragged. I say they forgot somebody.
How about the one instant where the lady come and hit me with the broom, and then the dude told him, hold on, and start wailing on him himself.
They forgot to charge the white lady for punching him. She got a few little rabbit punches in on him. Right? Now the four cats who held the brother down outside have all been charged. Kamar, Todd Erickson, Brandon Turner, Herbert Williamson, and Devin Carson Johnson, all charged with felony murder for the murder of Devontae Mitchell at the Hyatt Regency, in front of the Hyatt Regency, right before the RNC. Okay. I need for this to have a ripple effect, because if we are going to charge them criminally, then I want to know who hired them, because I want the family to know who all they can actually sue. Not that it will replace this brother, but this is some horrific. Kamar, you were saying like how you seen it, and you had this what we call visceral, which is basically anger. Just kind of like, oh, with your mouth tightened up, like, like the same thing when I seen Sonya Massey. I said, motherfucker, you know. But they're charged, okay? They're charged. So now, will this be one of those situations where they're able to maneuver legally and get these charges knocked down to manslaughter and all this kind of thing and go do 2-3 years or whatever? I definitely hope not. I love the fact that the old brother was pleading his case, but he sounded like an old slave. I was doing what I was told just to keep my job. That's literally what he said. It's in the People's News Network. And it's like, well, you know what? Doing what you told, got your ass felony murder charges. That nigga, I'm going to call him that. That nigga knew better than to be leaning on that. He knew better. You black. Did you not see Derek Chauvin with his knee on the back of George Floyd's neck? That image is burned in our head. I was just doing what they told me to do. And I think about it and I say, that's going to be a lot of niggas' excuse. I was just doing what they told me to do so I can keep my job. Well, they're all fired as well. So you didn't get to keep your job, nigga, with your dumb ass.
I don't get how they could. I just don't understand how they could do that, man.
Why would they do?
Or even anybody though, right? You know what I mean? To watch anybody get choked out like that, man. Like, how could you?
But you punching him, the young brother.
After we all watched George Floyd, all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, how can you watch anybody get choked out like that?
The young brother was wailing on him.
Wailing on him. Like it was like he did something to him.
Nigga.
But hold on. But right before that, he told the white lady, hold on, let me do it.
Right. Don't you get yourself dirty, ma'am.
Bitch ass nigga.
Right. There you go.
You bitch ass nigga.
There you go. Say it like it is. Shit.
I got him for you, ma'am. Ass nigga.
I hope they put you niggas under the jail. And I hope they put you in Gen Pop.
Fuck this job.
Right. Hell no. Right. Man, mother. I'd have been like, hold on, man. Y'all gonna kill the man. That's what I'd have been saying. Hold on, man. Hey, Bob. Freeze, man.
Bob would have caught a good boot in the face while he
Bob might would have caught a straight, Kamar.
Like that.
Bob might would have.
I'd have been on TV. I'd have been a hero on TV, dog.
Like, man.
On Shine Video, that'd have been me coming through. Crack.
Shout out to Sean Moore. Shout out to Sean Moore for the footage. And he's credited. Every time I see it, it's credited across the bottom. Shout out to Sean Moore. And not on no ambulance clout chasing shit, but just really being there to say, this the kind of shit we deal with in this city. See, this is why this is why I'm tripping, like people looking at me, because I'm saying, hold on, before we just start dismissing this. I keep saying she a sister because she got melanin in her skin. She ain't black. I have never seen this shit before from black people. I ain't never seen us clown so bad because somebody's mixed. Right. So we gonna get to that. Let me read my chat room. Fletch, what it do? He said, what up, family? Them ninjas done on all sides, civil, criminal, and at some point common sense was gone. All their policy and procedures were broken. The hotel will be liable because they had no training on how to handle the situation, or they were not accurately prepared. Like, you deal with, like, you should be auditing your security. Who you got where? What's your policies, baby? Because what about mass shooters? Do you have what kind of security? What's your protocols? That in turn, like the hotel management should be on it just because of that. What kind of plan are you? How are these people who come in and out and stay in this establishment safe? And you're getting paid to keep them safe. So yes. Shout out to Rock. He said, Toby. Man, look. That nigga can sing old Negro spirituals all he want on social media, talking about I was just doing what I was told to keep my job. I don't give a shit. He should be under the jail. Mama Jenkins, she said, good evening, my outlaw family. Another day in this city of excitement. She said, Rail's talking about over Hillside. Rats taking over Hillside. And yes, all those motherfuckers need to go to jail and be hung by their balls. Dion, what it do, man? How you doing?
Man, I had to call. You know, I tried to wait Monday to call. Shit, it's been like we got a curfew on this motherfucker. Now you stopping at 9:15 and 8:12 and talking about, well, we gonna wrap the show. I'm like, God damn, I ain't even get. Man, let me call as soon as my nigga get on here, man. God damn, I was mad as a motherfucker. But anyway, though, so what I was about to say, yeah, man, that's fucked up what they did to Buddy down there. I hope they charge everybody, especially that broad that was hitting him with that broom, stinking ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? But like they were saying, though, you know, man, if you sit back, look at all the shootings and all the innocent black lives that have been lost. It's been from minuscule next to nothing. What the brother named Eric Garner selling you loose cigarettes. George Floyd, a fake $20 bill. Sonya Massey, because they was the whole ass nigga was scared that she was gonna throw water on her.
Hot dog
Tamir
water.
Tamir Rice, a fake gun. Mike Brown, blunt. They don't value our lives.
Don't forget
man.
Trayvon Martin with his Skittles. Don't forget Trayvon Martin and his Skittles.
Trayvon Martin with his Skittles in his Arizona.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Walter Scott in North Carolina running away, got shot in the back. And there's so many others. Sandra Bland. You know what I'm saying? They don't value our lives, man. And it always go back to what we be saying, but I ain't gonna beat the dead horse on that. You know what I'm saying about the slavery. But anyway, I heard a news outlet say today that I can't remember the young lady name right now at this moment, but the guy who mutilated the young lady and cut her body up, how they found out an informant dropped a dime on him because the white boy said that's what he was planning on doing.
Hey, give my boy Lockhart, give him his Lockhart Media that he's the one who he stays ahead of it. So I put that in the People's News Network, the statement of supposedly the confidential informant saying that he had this plot all along and he had prepared for this murder and this kind of thing. I mean, but listen, what happened to this brother was crazy and it was out of pocket, but they've been charged. You really can't ask for any more than at this point for them to be charged. Now, the officers in LA in 92 were charged, but they were exonerated. That's what set the reaction off. So I'm saying if any shape, form, or fashion they are given any kind of leniency in court, there needs to be outrage. The same thing with Sonya Massey. I mean, all of those people who've murdered all those brothers and sisters you just talked about should have been given the real hook. The reality of it is a lot of them didn't, because the cop who killed my man in Minnesota, which was still to me the worst one, Philando Castile, that was still to me, especially with his keeping in mind that his 6-year-old daughter was in the back seat.
Yeah, he could have shot that little girl.
Right. So
Jesus, man.
But if we're talking about, because I like to talk about what's going to happen today and tomorrow, right? And people are saying, well, what is Kamala gonna do? And I'm saying, well, what is Trump gonna do? And I think the resounding answer for both of those cases is nothing. Trump said, for all you super intelligent Negroes who want to vote Trump or who love Trump because he's stand on business, like the boy in ATL said, when they asked him about the murder of Sonya Massey, he said, people make mistakes.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's what he said.
This who you want? This who you supporting. He stands on business. Let's look at immigration. Because like you said, we ain't gonna stay on all night. I am intentionally shortening our shows.
I see.
We ain't gonna stay
Man,
on
that
all
should have started a riot, bro.
No.
That should have started a riot.
No, we'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back in time. Rail told me a long time ago, sometimes the genius of it is leaving people waiting for more. So I said, you know what? That's some real shit. But
we only get 2 days.
Listen, well, now you get 1.5, goddamn it.
Hey, on the real. I'll be hot. I'll be like, I'm about to call you.
but the thing is with this election is, like I said, Trump is saying people matter. That was his statement towards it. People make mistakes. Now, is Kamala over pandering? You are absolutely fucking right. She's over pandering.
What's she in there now? I ain't even looking at that.
Well, you look at the amalgamation of it. You look at the Megan Thee Stallion. You look at her quoting Quavo and the Migos. You look at all this that they put. Hey, niggers, here's a nigger. Vote for this nigger too. Like that's what politics is. Trump. Nobody's keeping track on him bringing Hulk Hogan in, or Amber Rose, or them goofy ass sneakers, or him talking about black jobs. All this shit is.
I don't think those sneakers were a way to pander to us, to be honest.
Come on, man. We look.
Like,
Fat Joe bought a pair. Fat Joe bought a pair. He said they're collectibles. That's
he should have. If that was the case, he should have had Nike make a pair of them motherfuckers.
What about his mugshot on the t-shirts? Keep in mind, this dude just got convicted of 34 felonies. He was convicted. So
I'll tell you.
So with all the wisdom that all of these people have, they're saying, fuck her. She locked up criminals in California. This is literally the felon versus the lawyer. This is cops and robbers. Right?
Yeah, I kind of lost focus on that shit.
But black people answer is, she ain't black. We ain't never had a goddamn black president.
Yeah, I definitely.
So I'm saying, you know what am I missing? What am I missing? Y'all tell me tonight. 262-202-5131. Call and tell me what I'm missing when I say Trump, Kamala. Trump, Kamala. That's easy. Kamala. Not that she's the greatest, but Trump is the alternative. What the fuck? Tell me what I'm missing, Dion.
Well,
tell me what I'm missing.
I'm gonna tell you what you're missing.
Okay.
And the national security advisors were talking about this. They said that they got some reliable sources that if Trump loses, January 6th is just taking a walk in the park. So, well, you know.
Oh, that ain't fear mongering, though. That ain't fear mongering.
Yeah.
That ain't fear mongering.
I don't know what it is.
No, they said the Democrats are fear mongering.
I think they're gonna be ready for that this time.
Well, I hope they do. They weren't ready for January the 6th.
No, they wasn't ready.
It's basically white on white crime.
Hey, Dion.
It's gonna be white on white crime.
Remember a while back I used to say I don't think it's gonna be a race. I don't think it's ever gonna be a race war with black and white people. I think it will be white people and white people. Because you got some white people that feel like it's some other white people that's evil as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it's gonna be.
Hey.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, I got another observation of that too.
Shit, niggas scared of white folks.
You said they wasn't ready. I said they were because it didn't work. Wasn't it ultimately squashed?
Well, I mean, they wasn't ready.
Caught.
Like,
Motherfuckers
security wasn't ready. Like if Trump lose, I think they'll have more security around that motherfucker this time ready.
I can't say the security there wasn't ready. They got overrun, but it didn't work.
Well, because they wasn't ready.
It didn't work though, Kamar.
Shit, it wasn't enough. They wasn't ready.
They had enough to stop it.
Shit, they need some motherfuckers out there like they sent out there down there in Racine, or what's that, Kenosha, whatever, with Rittenhouse. How they had them motherfuckers ready to shoot. They need to have them motherfuckers out there like that.
Who stopped it then, Dion? If they didn't ultimately stop it, who stopped it? Who stepped in and stopped it?
Shit, they got tired. They did what they came to do. Because it wasn't really, it was a protest. They didn't come to do no really harm like that. Because they would have did it. They could have snatched motherfuckers up and hung them and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? That was a test run.
You do know that some of the security guards lost their lives. Motherfucker got
I
hit in the
know
head with
they
fire.
had strokes. They got
hit with fire
strokes, they got
hydrants.
trampled.
Yeah, what you? They was just a protest. They was just practicing. What? Motherfuckers lost their lives. I don't. Let me get to who is this? This is Ewok. He said the first civil war was white people against whites. Actually, it was. That's a great point, Ewok. Kamar, to your point, the Civil War was actually white people versus white people, right? You want slaves? We don't. Fuck you. Let's go to war. Secession, right? Like separate, but they lost. You muted.
It kind of looked like that's what's happening with this whole Trump situation.
Okay.
Some people with that shit and some ain't. And a lot of them got the audacity to go at him.
The funniest part of all this shit is most of the black people who talking shit wasn't gonna vote anyways. So it don't matter. Motherfuckers, black people know goddamn well. Most of these people who are saying this shit, they were not going to vote anyways. Right? Like even like a lot of the black people, maybe Trump don't understand this about the community. A lot of the black people that's riding with him ain't gonna vote. This shit's clout. Listen, he put that bed wench up, that wannabe bed wench. She ain't even no bed wench yet. She's a applicant in GA, and people actually are reposting her talking about fucking trying to come at Kamala or Kamala, whatever you call her. And the shit she's saying is madness. The fuck are you talking? She didn't turn black until she wanted to run. Listen, unfortunately, a lot of people may not know this. You don't get to turn your black on and off in this country. Even if you ain't a foundational black American. If you got melanin in your skin, it ain't no switching that shit on and off. Now, you can try to act in a different way. Like I wasn't happy that, there was no brother that she could select as her VP candidate. I understand the move, understanding that that's the governor of Minnesota, who a lot of people love. He's a darling of the Democratic Party. Understand that. But even when his wife and her husband and they all met, I said, there's too many goddamn white people on the stage. It's only one black person. I feel that way, so I'm not totally team. She's a bad wench too. Like stop, like people be coming at me like I'm just shuffling and shit. Ewok, what it do, man? How you doing tonight?
Man, you know me, you know what I'm saying? I got my little 2 cents to throw in the wishing well. I think, you know what I'm saying? You, me, you know what I'm saying? We all got common sense and we can all articulate our little shit. Sometimes people want to show how intelligent they are and they want to speak about, let's not all be on a plantation, which we all get. We all get the same thing, but some people just want to have talking points. And it comes a point in time where your talking point ain't valid right now. So I agree with you. Okay, your talking point is going to educate me a little bit more, and me talking going to educate you a little bit more. But some people want to use their talking points and shit, you know what I'm saying, when it's irrelevant. Like you say, we got Trump or we got this motherfucker. And I damn sure ain't voting for no motherfucking Donald Trump. And I don't understand why black people want to fight each other so hard with this decision. I think that decision right there should be very, very simple. Just like Elmer Fudd say, very, very quiet. It should be a very, very simple answer. You know what I'm saying? Your debating point and your talking point don't mean shit right now, unless we're trying to give each other intelligence about situations. But to get up and try to argue a fact about this election, I think it's silly, man. And that's my rant right there. I'm done, B, and I'm out. I'm going to let Dion finish talking and whatnot.
What up, Ewok?
What it do, baby?
Man, chilling, bro, always.
I'm glad y'all get along, right? Welcome to the show. No, Ewok, I see what you're talking about, because I think, once again, this is something that we've stated many times before, and this comes from somebody who has, like, you got to be a different kind of motherfucker to say, I'm going to make my own platform and I'm going to talk my shit. Like, that takes a certain kind of chutzpah itself. So I understand that. But I try not to let my talking points outweigh my logic, right? I look at things black and white. And it's just like, if we are in duress, right? Say they ran up, the shit just went crazy, right? White people was going wild, and and we were saying, man, we got to defend ourselves. Do you think I'm going to be wasting time debating with somebody how shit should be done, or am I going to be setting up the perimeter? I'm going to be setting up the perimeter.
Mhm.
I ain't worried about, man, I don't want to talk about slavery right now, motherfucker. It's on. We getting attacked. Let's talk about that shit after. And so even with this sister, she's no different from any other political candidate. And yes, I called her a sister. I know, like, she ain't no sister, Kev. I don't, fuck that. What you talking about? Okay. Let's get rid of the Trump bullshit, wash our mouths out with soap, and move forward, because America needs a lot of fucking work. If immigration is a serious issue, and I've looked at some of the numbers about Chicago, and them saying millions of dollars have been wasted on immigrants, and these people in Chicago have been suffering for a long time. People of color have been suffering for a long time. We know that poverty is rampant, just like in Milwaukee. And they bringing these immigrants in, and they setting them up, and they get this and they get that, they get this. We're so busy complaining about that we're not doing what we need to do to entrench ourselves, set up the perimeter. You see it coming. Why you still standing there talking? Let's go. Let's go. So I just feel like black people, and this is just my personal opinion, I see like people get upset. Kev, what you say? Vote for who the fuck you want to. Vote for who the fuck you want to. If you feel like it's Daffy Duck time, vote for that nigga. If you feel like the Incredible Hulk has done his studies and his due diligence, vote for that nigga. I was going to vote for Morris Day before Kamala came in. I'm telling y'all. It was going to be 777-9311. Put on the flag.
You want to go vote for Biden for real, though, Kev?
No. Well, you know what? I take that back. Because once again, I'm the one who said I'd vote for a wet piece of bacon over Trump. I probably would have, Dion. I probably would have. But I was feeling more and more concerned as time went along. Like, no, this motherfucker's really cognitively, he's missing a few screws.
I think so much it was more about democracy than him, though. But I think where a lot of people are confused with Trump at, first of all, he has no policies. A lot of people might be upset about the immigration, but
that ain't what they said in Illinois. They said in Atlanta, they said he stand on business.
Yeah, I don't know what type of business that he's standing on. But then, I think a lot of people are misconstrued. Yeah. A lot of people are misconstrued and think that Trump gave us that stimulus money and about how low the gas prices were.
All from Obama.
So unless they really understand that, you can't say nothing to change their mind. Like when Trump was in office, we had this and we had that. Like, unless you was a millionaire, even if you did own a small business, if you ain't grossing $1 million a year, you weren't seeing no benefit from those tax,
you
Trump
absolutely
tax
were not.
cuts.
Right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and far as, people believing in his moral convictions about abortion and stuff, well, I feel that's a woman's choice. You can't take a woman's right away from her, whether she want to have a baby or not. That's her choice.
Man.
That's her choice. I don't believe in abortions, but that's her choice, because if they're able to take a woman's rights away from us, who say they won't try to do something else? Remember back in the day, it used to be illegal for blacks and whites to be married.
That's right. You're gonna be
back in Virginia, North Carolina. Yeah, with love. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Or
the Mann Act. Hell yeah, you don't be transporting that good white woman across state lines.
And that's where they came up with that law. When you go across the state lines,
the Mann Act. With them
it's
women.
Called the Mann Act.
It's called the Mann Act. It's white slavery. That's what
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Shit. Listen.
So a lot of people just be misinformed on what's going on, but I don't know. Like I said, if he wins the United States that we know now, I like you said, it's not going to just Trump won, and a year or two from now it'll be dramatically changed. But it'll happen over a course of time, and you won't be able to recognize it.
I don't think it'll be that
just
severe.
Won't look the same.
I think we're giving him too much credit. So shout out to Roger Zeladon in the chat room, my partner Westside Zeladon. Westside, he said, I thought a drop of blood used to be enough. Now if it's about the president, it's not. This is what I'm saying. Black people, I don't understand where this shit came from. He said Kamala / Barack. Right? That's y'all hero. Barack Obama. Barack Obama and Michelle. Right? And Joe Rogan still running around in his stand-up shows talking about Michelle is a transgender. I think Barack needs to step to Joe Rogan. I know Joe Rogan used to do MMA, but damn, don't Obama still got Secret Service with him or something? I step to do. Like, man, cuz, what's happening, man? Let me holler at you. Obama need to walk him off. He need to walk him off and then pull his shirt up and have a little Glock or something in his belt. Like, man, I don't know if I came up in Chicago. I don't know if you really know who I am, and have Joe Rogan be like, Obama, pull a gun on me. And then Obama be in the press conference like, yeah, he was talking about my bro. We know he ain't foundationally black enough to do that. So why y'all tripping? Stop it with the bullshit. Stop it. Black people, today and tomorrow, stay with me. Today and tomorrow. We ain't talking about 1835. We ain't talking about 1952. We talking about November 4th, 2024. Now, if Trump does win this election, first of all, to circumvent the actual system of checks and balances that's in place, people act like he's a spring chicken. Hell, he's damn near 80 himself. He'll never last long enough. It will be so much rebellion, even on a state level. Every time he tries to dismiss one of these checks and balances, people say, Project 2025, Kev. You ain't talking about Project 2025. It's how they gonna ease this shit on us. It's gonna take way more than 1 year, unless he really utilizes. And this goes back to one thing I heard Kamar say another time, in which he said, well, I don't think this, if there is any kind of war, I think it was Kamar who said, well, then it will force the United States military to fight its own people. So what he'd have to do is take the only thing he really has control of, which is the United States military, and use them against people, because people are going to come out like, hell no, we protesting, we marching. Now, once that starts, now that's potentially a fucking mess, because now I don't think it'll happen, because we still have Congress, we still have senators, we still have judges, right? And people say, Kev, you believe in this American shit too much. I think if there was a room for a nefarious motherfucker to come in and take this country over, it would have already been done. I think Richard Nixon, I think, Ronald Reagan, I think some of them old real triple OGs back in the days would have done it already. Trump ain't smart enough to reinvent the wheel.
I don't think they was that malice, though. But the thing about it is, though, they're setting up, is like you always say, it's chess, not checkers. They're putting pieces in place where he can do that. Look what the Supreme Court did. You know what I'm saying? They waiting until he get back in office so Clarence Thomas and Judge Samuel Alito can retire. You see what they did by saying, hey, whatever he do, if he feel like it's a presidential power, then he could do it. Boom. That's other. He already talking about slashing the federal government and weaponizing the DOJ. He already talking about taking 5,000 people away and putting Trump loyalists in. So they have to get vetted before they get hired to that position. They got to get vetted. They got to be like, hey, you a suck his woo woo woo? Yeah, I fucking woo woo. All right, you're in. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, once again, it's I hear both sides accusing each other of fear mongering, and I see it on both sides. I see Republicans doing it because they're utilizing immigration, and I see Democrats do it because they're utilizing they plan the race card, which a lot of us it works on. And I'm one of them. I'm us. I see the race. I say, hell yeah, that shit's real, right? So each side is doing the same thing. People, this bitch brought out Megan Thee Stallion. This Trump brought out Hulk Hogan. Like, he brought out Amber Rose.
Hogan always use the N-word though.
But yeah, he's a real American hero. I'm saying, black people, listen, he brought out Amber Rose. What is the difference between Amber Rose and Megan Thee Stallion? One's black and one's ambiguously racial. You still don't know what the fuck Amber Rose is. Talking about I'm Cape
I
Verde.
guess
Who the fuck live in Cape
Amber
Verde?
Rose didn't get out there twerking. She didn't go out there twerking.
No, because she
ass,
was already
so
known as the slut. She hosted the slut walks. She slept with every rapper who was ever on, or every athlete. Like she didn't have to do it because it was already understood. What you say what's understood don't need to be explained, correct? So when you hear the name Amber Rose, what do you think of?
Kanye West, Wiz Khalifa.
Big booty. She got OnlyFans. She's twerks and naked pictures all on the internet. What's
I never seen any of that.
Google it. Go right now. Put her name in.
I never.
Put her name in right now. I ain't that people know I ain't lying. Put Amber
Man,
Rose.
you know Dion don't watch
just-
that ratchet mess.
That was shit. Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There's no. Made a song about it, and she had a whole march called Slut Walk, like 2-3 years in a row in L.A. Supported by y'all favorite gangster rapper 21 Savage.
She was on Everybody podcast, and they like, well, why would you own that word? Why would you own that?
Listen. They're both.
She got that Guck 3000.
Both sides are doing the same thing. That's my point. They're both pandering, right? Trump went to the National Association of Black Journalists and sat down. I'm gonna go talk to the blacks. He was fucking a retard.
He crashed the fuck out too.
And black people still like that's why I laughed. I came one step short of seeing these dudes in LA and almost said, "You country ass motherfucker." I'm sorry. I was judging. I said, "He said, stand on business. What you like about him? His policy?" The dude didn't say what policy. He said, because he stand on business and he be serious about his shit. I said, wow, we are really in fucking trouble. We in trouble, man.
Trouble.
He walks in the chat room. He said, if that's the case, Kamala's actually blacker than Obama. I mean, he's African and white. She's Indian and Jamaican. I don't know. Shit. Like, what? That's what I'm saying. Like, when has that ever been the barometer for a president, though? Like, who they got to be black? Black America, y'all telling me right now that's how we moving from now on? I say, cool. If that's how we're moving from now, we're going to say, in order for us to vote for you, you have to be a foundational black American. I'll get on code with y'all and say, okay, I fucks with that. But it got to be consistent moving forward.
Right. Kev, you made a good point. Didn't nobody say that about Barack. You know what I mean? Barack was mixed, but what nobody say, he ain't black. Wasn't nobody running around screaming that. But they is this time. Now, remember the other day I told you, I feel like it's a lot of black men that's pushing that narrative. You know what I mean? Like it was okay when it was Barack, but now it ain't okay when it's her. Because remember, at first we was hearing people saying like, man, I ain't finna let no woman, I can't be ran by no woman as a president and all that shit. This is where I think the narrative comes from. Like I ain't shitting on nobody for what they think, but I'm just saying where I think the narrative come from.
Okay, well, that might be a possibility, Kamara. It might be, but the whole deal is, I see a lot of sisters on this, like, and I'm like, whoa, hold on. Well, first of all, it's with Barack. The only person who said Barack wasn't black and said he wasn't even American was Trump.
Right.
Trump's like, where your birth certificate at, nigga?
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't no issue then.
Right. Well, for us, it wasn't.
This time around, it's an issue with her.
Right.
So you know what I mean?
I won't. Some of y'all so hard on the internet. Some of y'all so tough on social media. Go up to a Jamaican and say, "You ain't black, motherfucker.
Right.
Get the fuck out of our country." So, Ross, Clyde, pussy, Clyde, boy, what you talk about? Like that motherfucker might go in on your ass. Like he might be able to connect his African lineage better than you.
Better than you.
So what?
We gonna have to redefine the word black though, because technically ain't nobody black. You know, black is a color.
Once again, all that's paralysis by analysis. We've been arguing about that shit for years.
Right.
I'm black. Black people only come from America. Now, if you don't agree with that, then I'm not talking about you, Dion.
My people say they black.
I'm okay. That's my mom said I'm black, so I'm black. Why you call yourself black, Kevin? That's
my mama
not
said
even
my name Kamar.
right. My mama said you are a black man. That's what she told me when I was very young. I didn't have time to say, but mama, that's not actually where Brad.
I get it. You know
Right.
what I mean?
I get
People
what you're
talk
saying.
nationality. I get it. People
Right.
talk all that nationality stuff and everything. That's cool. I don't knock it. You know what I'm saying? But we know what we talking about when we say black people. Everybody know what we talking about.
Right.
We ain't writing this shit down on paper saying nothing is that. This is just what we talking about, and this how our people talk. So I'm gonna
You still
talk. So I'm gonna
arguing
speak so
about
my people can understand me.
still arguing about the N-word.
Right.
Still mad at each other for the word nigga. Well, we still arguing about that
And
shit.
and I think the other day when you was on here, you said Elon Musk said something, but Elon Musk is more African because he's a South African.
I didn't say. I know somebody else
African.
said that. No, I don't know anything about his cultural background.
Yeah. He's a South African.
Okay, he's a Boer.
Yeah,
he's an
He's an Afrikaner. He's an Afrikaner. Yeah.
He's not a Kafir.
Yeah, that's what they. Yeah.
That's what they call us
that's
over
what
there.
They call them also.
They call us Kafirs.
Yeah. Yeah. You know. That was just like this one black lady. She was like, I never knew how black, because she was from Nigeria, and she was like, people over there, they don't call themselves black and all that. They're Nigerian.
They ain't black.
You understand? Yeah, so I don't know,
It's only
Hold on. I say they're not black in terms of what black means, like what me and Kamar just talked about. In terms of when we say black, we know what that means. We know who those people are. People, we keep saying foundational black Americans. We keep saying those of us who are descendants of, the slaves that came out of the South. And we say black, that's our word. I'm not here to tell an African you're not black, but you're not American, so you're not black, quote unquote. I don't know if that makes sense.
It was confusing.
Well, okay, so you're African, correct? Obviously, you're melanated, correct? Now, I won't say that people wouldn't look at you and say he's black. But technically, you're African, you're Nigerian, you're Kenyan, you're from wherever. I am from the United States of America. I am black. Right. I'm black. That's what America. I keep saying it. America created this race accidentally. They created this culture accidentally because they took a bunch of Africans and said, you're not Nigerian, you're not Kenyan, you're not from wherever. You're a nigger from here. And they scrabbled and scrambled. If you want to talk about slavery, and you want to talk about what it really did, it just scrambled us up to the point where we had to adapt to a new identity. So those of us who went through that situation became black. You don't even know where you come from. It's black symbolism, right? So I say I identify as a black man. I'm American. I mean, because whether black people want to admit it or not, your ass is American. I went back to the motherland. It don't matter if you go back. I traced my lineage all the way to Kenya. Don't matter. Your ass still black and from America. So I get you on, it's confusing, but I've had that conversation with Africans where I would say, I don't look at you as black. I look at you as Nigerian or Kenyan. But as my brother, in terms of, are you melanated? Absolutely. Just like I look at a Jamaican. I don't necessarily, when I say black, of course, I'm not necessarily talking about you. If I say Jamaicans, I'm talking about you. If I say Haitians, I'm talking about you. If I say people of color, now I'm talking about everybody. But when I say black, it only applies to a certain group. That's the group that should receive reparations, because that is the group that has done us the most damage. I mean, that has been the most damaged, I should say. So I know it can get it. That's why I say this ain't even something we should be fucking talking about. Let's just handle this business, get rid of all this fucking foolishness with Trump and all these MAGAs, and then let's put her in check and hold her accountable, or try to. John Fletcher said he 47% Nigerian ancestry. Okay. I don't know how you would trace it, because I definitely wouldn't send off to the what they call it when people send into the DNA.
Ancestry.com.
Yeah, and then that got bought. Yeah. If you go look this up, it got bought out by a firm called Blackstone. They purchased it. So they now own your DNA if you sent it to them. They cloned Tyrone. Remember that movie? This for all you motherfucking conspiracy theories, right? I'm on the same shit. That's what I'm saying. I'm not blinded. I'm not glamored by Kamala. I wasn't like, oh, Megan Thee Stallion at the rally. Now she black. I wasn't like that. I got enough sense to see what it is, but I got enough sense to see what it is.
I think with Megan Thee Stallion, she was pandering to young black women.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Trying to get them to come out, getting them to come out and vote. I get it. You know what I mean? In every election, they pandering to black people.
They want
They
the vote.
want these votes.
They want the
You know
vote.
what I'm saying? Every election, every politician, they pandering to black people. And some, you know what I mean? Some do it more than others. But this one, they is like going, they through the roof with it.
Hell yeah, they putting it on thick.
So with immigration, let's talk about immigration for a minute. I look around, right? Like I live right now in probably the most diverse neighborhood I've ever lived in my life. I was born and raised in Milwaukee on the north side, as a matter of fact. And I grew up with us. There's a few white people who was leftovers, but I grew up with us in a super segregated community. I live in a neighborhood now that has Hmongs, Latinos, Native Africans, white people, and obviously foundational Black Americans. My neighbors, right? Cool, calm, and slick as a cucumber. Everybody gets along because everybody respects everybody as you run your shit, I run mine. Cut your grass, I cut mine. Ain't no trash out here, ain't no trash out here. Motherfuckers I ain't disturbing the peace over here. You don't bring it, right? So when I look at, okay, immigrants are coming into the country, we getting our ass kicked by the Hmongs right now. The Hmongs got their shit together. They got their shit together. On the west side of Milwaukee, the Hmongs have their shit together. Right?
That's all on my block, them Asian motherfuckers.
Like a motherfucker, right? The Latinos have their shit together. Is everything all good for them? No. But them motherfuckers working.
At least they fuck with each other.
They have solidarity like a son bitch. They ain't fucking with you. They get together and they do cooperative economics, Kamar. Mm-hmm. You want a job? You want a job? I have a truck. Motherfucker, we can put a roof on a motherfucking house in 2 days. It be Mexicans all up on top of the house, hanging out the trees and everything. I think some of them can fly. Some of them motherfuckers is ex-Mexicans. Like X-Men, ex-Mexican, ex-Mexes. Them motherfuckers, whoa. You never hear about them falling off a roof or nothing. Them motherfuckers just be up there. He ain't got no tool. No, they give me the hammer. I'm like, how the fuck he get way up there? They ain't got no ladder. I'm just saying, while we sit around and cry, complain, bitch, moan, overanalyze, argue amongst each other, everybody else is moving. Is it wrong for immigrants to be taken into a city and given this preferential treatment when you have a part of the community that's occupied by foundational Black Americans and they're underserved, mistreated? Absolutely, that's wrong. But then those people in that community need to be looking at the leaders that they have in office. Who's sitting on your city council? Who's your mayor? You need to put pressure on them. And it's all going to come back to this is a federal thing. Because what were we talking about being asylum cities? That's they said we'll be an asylum. Now, if I'm living in a shitty town, everybody in the town's getting murdered by the cartel in Mexico, and I said, man, I just want to get the fuck out of here, and I'll haul up enough coin to get over here legally, and I get somewhere and they be like, man, here's a room. Because keep in mind, this person is coming from somewhere they don't know shit, they don't speak English, they don't know nothing. If we left them on the streets, people be complaining, it's Mexican, Latino babies and women just living in the park. Like, America sometimes can't make up their mind what they want to do.
It's illegal to be homeless now. The Supreme Court passed that. Your ass out there sleeping, boy, they can convict your ass for that shit. But I think the reason we as Black people be so mad about the immigrants coming over here, because we've been here so long, man, we just been overlooked, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been overlooked, you know, and you know, like, I don't know. Basically, I mean, you damn near almost they shit together, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, is there something with us, man? You know, we've been here for so long and we've been overlooked, and you know, they've been holding us back, and And I know those be seeming like excuses and shit because, you know, you have a person that come over here can't speak a lick of English, and you know, them motherfuckers will open up a grocery store, a mechanic shop, got a home improvement
But
business.
you know what? You know
and they
what?
be
You
like,
know
"Look,
what, Dion? When he opened
up?"
his grocery store, guess who gonna shop with him? His people.
Mexican.
When he opened his Vasquez muffler shop, guess who gonna shop with him?
The Mexicans.
And guess
Well,
who
you stupid as hell.
guess who gonna work for him?
Mexican.
There we go. I open mine. We don't support it. I usually
yeah, like that nigga.
I can't really afford to hire people, right? I go out of business quickly. Black people ride past me. Man, I ain't fucking with them niggas. I'm finna take my shit up here to CarX. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna keep it real though. I don't want no black motherfuckers fixing on my car too much.
See? There
I
you
can't even
go.
lie to you.
There you go. But
Unless
you take,
I do the work.
you met Pedro
Unless
don't
I
even
do the work myself.
Pedro don't even speak English, but you would take your shit to Vasquez muffler. You can't talk to the dude that's fixing your car. You go up to him and like this, he be like,
yeah.
D, he take that welding thing, I'll be fixing your muffler at Vasquez. D, huh? Somebody come out like, what did you have a question? I'm trying to ask this mother. He don't speak English.
Hell no, that motherfucker don't speak no English.
Come on, man.
I don't know, bro. It's just something about I won't buy a car from somebody black, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't want nobody black doing shit for me.
See, you answer your own question. There you go. You as a black man are saying to yourself, you won't shop with a black business. You just said that yourself.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't. I don't know if I'm indoctrinated or what. I just feel like I hear too many. Like I don't know. Like I just feel like black people just, you know, like I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Like you have a nigga come do some home. You have for real though. You have a nigga come do some home improvement on your house and shit. He done ran off with your money.
That's not always true. That's not always true. I know, but the Mexicans will do that too, though. It's some Mexicans that will do that too. I know they will. I don't know what it is, Kev. It's just I don't know. Now I go to a black person restaurant or shit like that, But as far as having to fuck with my car, buy a car from them and shit like that, I don't know, man. So
I hate to say
once
that
again, that's power. That's power given away. That's not power taken. That's listen, I keep telling people about Black Wall Street, Black Wall Street, Black Wall Street, Black Wall Street. I say, it's rebuilt, right? Most people don't know that. I say, you know what ruined it, right? No. Integration ruined it. We stopped shopping with ourselves. Hmongs don't do that. Asians, they you might see one of them motherfuckers at Target. You might see them at Target, but they have a whole grocery store over here under the noses of us while we sitting up here sucking on the titty of MPS and they fucking us over through the property tax levy. They built their own school. They took our old MPS building and changed it to K-8 to 12th grade. Community got no access. They got a whole soccer field with synthetic turf. That shit happened in 5 years.
They got a couple schools.
Umar been building his school for 15 years, and that shit still ain't got no swing or no playground. But he walk around talking about, don't you vote for Kamala. Nigga, stop it. We're not listening to you. We're not listening to you, bro. Juice Lady in the gym. I thought you was in training. You said
I was in training. I told you training was 4 to 8. And look, I done came straight to
I gotta go now. I gotta go now.
Oh, damn.
I call you when I call you. I do. But I love you, but I don't like you though. But I'm gonna let y'all go, and I'll finish listening to y'all on the podcast, man. And when I get closer to my destination, because I know you're gonna be cutting this motherfucker off.
Cut this motherfucker off.
We got about another 12 seconds left.
Right. Run it down.
All right, love, bro. All right, love.
So, like, Juice Lady, how you?
Back to me now.
Yeah, you
so
supposed
I'm in
to
the
be.
gym. I've been trying to get my workout on, but I'm in class every day from 4 to 8. And then the class, I'm just in there with a whole bunch of people in recovery, goddamn it. So, everybody 9 months, 7 months, 3 months clean. And so, the whole time in class, when you're supposed to be learning, everybody want to tell a story and shit. Well, it relates to me because when I'm learning patience. I realize I ain't got that, and I'm working on it.
Wait, now, why are you in a recovery? Like, why are you in
Ooh.
a
I want to be a certified peer support specialist. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time they want you to be able to relate. So I'm like, I can relate because I done had crackheads in my family and I done dealt with them and mental health and all that. But a lot of people that deal with it or that are specialists are people that have been in the situation. So ex-alcoholics, ex-drug addicts. See, I don't have that type of experience. I don't have the lived experience, but I can relate to family and I can help you in the school for psychology. Let's work through it. But I ain't never did crack. But I got you though. I understand
I
a little
would
bit.
think they wouldn't even let you in. Like
Look,
you,
I made it though, Kim. I'm in
like
there.
how
So
she ain't. I'd be mad. Like she ain't never got 2 for 15 in her life. She don't belong here.
they don't know if I was drunk or what, Kim. They don't know. I could have been alcoholic. They don't know.
Oh my God.
Could have been.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know. You tuned in from the gym, so shout out to Planet Fitness. So yeah, man, I was talking about immigration. I understand. Listen, it's funny for me now to hear black people saying they coming to take our jobs. They taking our rights. Well, you ain't had shit in 50 years. They just got here. And you blaming them. It sounds like you're repeating something you heard somebody else say. Because very few, I know, and shout out to Chicago. I feel the people's pain about watching this money get, or whatever funding being directed towards these immigrants. But I'm saying, how accountable have you held your leaders, or how accountable are you holding them now for this? What you want to do? You want to go beat the Mexicans up and drag them out the hotel, or do you go to these people these fat cats and say, your ass is finna be out of office. This is stupid. We're not standing for this. I bet you they'll move something then. I bet you they will. Ewok, what's happening, man?
Man, not much. I don't ever call to talk forever, man. But it's on my mind right now, man. I just wanted to say it's levels to coons and shit. Real quick. I'm gonna be real quick. I'm gonna explain it to y'all, break it down to you like it's fresh. So you got your Tim Scott. He don't know where he belongs. So I think he's really lost in the sauce. I think he really wants to be one of these people so bad that he done fooled himself that he white shit. But then you got your Candace Owens and you got your Byron Donalds and shit. See, I know exactly where they coming from and shit. Byron Donalds, he'll tell a motherfucker lie like a motherfucker. So he don't got no tribalism in him. He ain't gonna go out and hunt and bring nothing down. If he get him a white bitch and he get his piece of the pie that he want, he'll go out there and he'll tell any lie that is possible and shit. Yeah, he'll eat the watermelon that he found and shit with the white bitch and come home and tell the motherfucking tribe he ain't got nothing. That's what Byron Donalds is doing. Now, I'm talking about levels of coonism right now. You know what I'm saying? And it needs to be spoken on because, man, these people right here, they don't mean us no good, man. And you can't say, well, they individual thinkers and shit. I'm sick of people saying shit like that when the motherfuckers sitting around here deliberately stepping on our back so they can make sure that they all right. You know what I'm saying? Byron Donalds got apple pie and motherfucking watermelons, rinds and shit, talking about he didn't find no fruit and shit. And he gonna come back to the chief and the tribe and to still lie to the motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? We got too many of them people like that running around, man. What you think about these coon ass niggas like that? And the people who really like, you said the dude in Atlanta said, yeah, Trump stand on business. That sounds like the most ignorant shit in the fucking universe to me, man, when people say shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Come on, you can't justify that type of thought and that. All right, man. Like I said, man, go ahead.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but is Kamala a coon? Is she a coon?
I wouldn't call.
Well, I call her a bed wench. I call her a bed wench.
I wouldn't call her a coon.
I don't know. Listen, because
Byron Donald is a straight up coon.
People argue with me all the time about, well, it don't make you a coon just because you're married to a white person. So then that should disqualify her because people say love is love. Love is love. Don't got no color.
Shit, I got a white sister and a white brother-in-law and shit, and I got 7 nieces and nephews behind that. So,
right.
I mean, it is what it is. It do what it do. But I'm talking about people who specifically go out and lie, like a Byron Donald or a Candace Owens. You know what I'm saying? Put their foot on your neck and you're going to sit there and they just a free speaker. That's bullshit, man. Come on, we got to call that shit out. I mean, it's cool to be a free speaker. But a motherfucker can't goddamn it piss on my head and tell me it's raining outside either though. You know, it's a thin line between that old bullshit right there. Stop it. Stop saying that these people got the right to say bullshit to you. That means you accepting it and you being a part of that old coon ass behavior, man.
No, they have the right. They have the right to say whatever they want. You have the right not to listen to them. We create these monsters ourselves by giving them traction. Like I said, I can't quote Candace Owens. I can't give you a quote. I don't watch her. I don't. She's saying nothing that's relevant to me. So I don't even bid her.
You have to at least keep your eyes a little bit open sideways and shit, because she says dangerous shit. You have to listen to the dangerous motherfucker.
What does she say that's dangerous? What does she say that's dangerous?
Anything negative towards the black community, anything that helps put us back, make us look like that we ain't doing our job. Every opportunity that bitch gets, she make it seem like it's all our fault.
I'm not saying she doesn't do that, Ewok. I just want to know what it is. What does she say? I just want a specific example. That's all. I just want to know because you said dangerous.
I got no quotes and shit handy.
Well, when you say she said something dangerous, if she said something dangerous, I think you know what she said. That's what I'm asking you.
Everything she say is dangerous.
Okay.
She doesn't. She'll start off, okay, listen to me. Okay, I'm going to break it down to you like a fraction. You want me to say word for word? No, I don't
I don't even want you to say word for word. You could paraphrase her. But when you said she says things and I said, I ignore her. And she hasn't said anything right now that I've missed that's been like needle moving. Where they say, oh, Kev, you. And when I went back and listened, I said, God damn, that was deep. That was dangerous.
When you got a platform, which she barely still has, she had a big platform for a long time. And her whole conversation every time, these people that I'm talking about, the Jason Whitlocks, the Candace Owenses, the Tim Scotts, and the Byron Donalds. My point in a nutshell is we don't need those people to be on them platforms talking all of that bullshit. You just can't ignore them. Sometimes you got to call them out. Let me put it like this. Let's call them out on our platform. That's what I'm doing. Now, this is not mine, it's yours. And you allow me a voice on your platform. But you know what? I'm using my voice on your platform to say, these are the types that motherfuckers need to really know about, because they'll say something that might make a little bit of sense, and then they go back until they cooning and shit. And you know what I'm saying? That's dangerous.
So I guess my point I'm trying to make to you is, Ewok, this is real. I look at Candace Owens and Charleston White as the same. I look at them both the same, right? I know their conversation ain't for me. Obviously, I hear, because it's outrage a lot of times. People are saying, "Oh, he said this, she said that." I'm aware of their presence, but I don't give them any kind of attention, or like I'm watching or listening. When they say something egregious enough, of course, it comes across my ears. But by and large, I just keep scrolling on them. Like I don't listen to Charleston White.
See,
I know, right? No, I'm saying I don't give, and I think a lot of other people feel that way, because there's a lot of black people in this country who can't tell you shit about Candace Owens. They don't listen to it.
That's what I was saying.
I watched some stuff from her before.
Okay.
I don't watch her bang on. I don't watch her bang on feminists.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And talk about how foul they mindset be. Black feminists. You know what I mean? Or that whole young culture. You know what I'm saying? I done watched her bang on them. I done heard her speak highly of men too. But then I done heard her say some bullshit that I don't like also. Okay. I think most people are like that though. Like it's some facets about them that you could pull out, get from, you know what I mean? And then it's a bunch of bullshit too. Like we ain't gonna never agree on everything with everybody. Ever.
You right, Kamar. But you know what? You right like a motherfucker. But you know what? Some people with them platforms, I'm just trying to make the point. People with them platforms, they are dangerous. Kev choose to scroll past it. But guess what? They saying that shit to somebody else that you might know. And it might get their attention. And it might lead them astray. You know what I'm saying? Because with great power comes with great responsibility. And, shit. Sometimes that shit just like break it down to you like a fraction. It's like pimping. If you hear a motherfucker with a microphone and shit and you don't scroll past the motherfuckers, they can get into your brain talking that crazy shit. Why you think all them motherfuckers climbed the Capitol building because Donald Trump refused to say I lost the election and shit, because he had this big platform. He had the biggest platform which was dangerous. You know what I'm saying? He said your vice president has betrayed you. Next thing you know, I don't know where these crackers came from. They had a damn gallows on the Capitol lawn. Where did it come from?
Well, I
They
guess
went to
the difference in those two would be that he had actually been the president, which makes the assumption that he had some power. What power does she have right now? She's not a legislator. She's
Like,
not.
I get it. Like, she may spew out some bullshit. You know what I
But
mean?
she has no
But
power.
I think the way today is,
the
and it's
power of
like it's all
somebody's
social
mind.
media.
Somebody's mind. If you can reach one with your garbage, that's one too many. If you spewing garbage, is the point that I'm trying to make,
I get
KB.
it. That's foul, but you know what I mean. I think the way social media is now, like all we can really do is comment or call in and say how we disapprove of what she's saying. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to comment
Right.
somehow in the comments because that's basically all we could do. Because by the time we see it, they done said it already.
Ain't that a waste of time though?
Well, I mean it is, but I mean I'm just saying that's all we could do. You know what I mean? At that point,
No, but
that's
we can redirect some people. You know what I'm saying?
right,
We
and that's
can't.
that's
You know,
why I said, you know
because
what I
the
mean, we
opportunity
comment,
of
you know what I mean? We comment
yeah,
and we speak our mind about what it is. But and I also understand Kevin's point of view. You know what I mean? Like he don't like what she talk about, so he don't pay that no attention. It's a lot of other stuff that he more passionate about that he pay attention to, and we know we talk about it a lot. I get it, you know what I mean? We just be in different stuff.
I'm once again I'm hearing him. I'm hearing Ewok. I'm listening at what he's
you can stop.
saying.
You can stop a pimp. You can
He's
stop a pimp
saying
from pimping a woman if somebody else was in her ear saying something different. You
what
know
he
what I'm saying?
said. What he
If
said was
somebody else was telling this woman something different, the pimp, you can neutralize the pimp. You know what I'm saying? You can tell her, no, you ain't got to do what that whole ass nigga said. You ain't got to go sell your body. So you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Voices mean something. So you can neutralize it.
what he
That's the
said
point
was
I'm trying to
he
make.
said she don't. He said people say she's a free thinker, whatever, what have you. He said she shouldn't have the right to say some of the shit she says to people. That's what I heard you say. Some of the shit
Not
she's
me.
saying.
Mhm.
No, you said she shouldn't have the right to just. She's irresponsible. You said with great power comes responsibility. So and I said
can't take her right away from her.
that's
She
why
got
I
the freedom
said
to
she
speak.
should have the
Yeah.
right, but you also have the right not to listen. That's what I said. So it's not even that I'm disagreeing with you on because you're talking about Whitlock. But these people are powerless. Like Whitlock, I don't watch Whitlock every day because I know what this conversation gonna be. I've heard him say shit
Because you
about
choose
black
not to, but
men.
somebody
I've heard
is
him say
listening
shit
though, kid.
against the. I'm not saying they're not. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm more or less offering them advice that if we really want them to be powerless, we'll stop listening to them because ultimately they'll just be sitting somewhere talking to themselves.
Right. So Ewok, you doing the right thing. You doing the right thing about speaking your mind about her. You know what I mean? Telling people quit listening to her. That's because again, all we could do is comment. Because
I already don't listen to
whatever
her.
we
So that's what
watching
I'm
that she
saying.
say,
That's great advice.
she said it.
Hey,
You know
but
what I mean?
these
You
people,
you doing the right
I
thing.
think
That's
y'all.
you know what I
I'm gonna
mean.
get
That's
off
the
of here
best
in
we
2
could do.
seconds. I'm thinking y'all missing the whole point that I was trying to make. You know, when people use words, they go out into the atmosphere, and some people accept those words differently than others. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got that bad motherfucker with that microphone and shit in their hand that don't mean nobody no good intentions. We're only responsible for ourselves. I'm trying to let it be known that it's vulnerable people out here who actually listen and they go off of what people say. You know what I'm saying?
So somebody's following Candace Owens right now?
They move
Right.
like
So
that.
you
They
think
move like
something
that.
violent may happen because of something Candace says? That's what you think? Or something wild may happen due to the words that
I
she
feel
says?
like we're in agreement with
No,
you,
I'm not
Ewok.
talking about
It just
violence. I'm just talking about
no.
stupidity, sheer stupidity. You know, having your mind in a different place. She has that microphone. She has the opportunity to put people, just like I said, I used the pimp for an example, you know what I'm saying, on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because I can be the dude that be like, hey, don't listen to dude. Dude gonna have you out there selling your pussy. And if I didn't say that, the pimp would have had her whole mind because he in her ear like, yeah, baby, you know, we gonna do all of this. We gonna, you know what I'm saying, we gonna build this, we gonna have all this together, blah, blah, blah. So I have a voice, the pimp got a voice. You know what I'm saying? It's yin and yang to that shit. And I'm just saying some people need to, you know what I'm saying? You gotta rid the other one with the other one.
So
That's the only point that I'm trying to.
those women would be better served if they just scroll past the pimp. don't even engage in conversation with them because it's gonna lead them astray. They should just keep
Easier
walking.
said than done. Easier said
just
than
like
done. But I tell
just
you
like
what,
You can't
saying
man.
to
just
her
walk
that you
past
shouldn't
a
sell your
pimp,
body
Kev.
is easier said than done. Because most of them gonna be like, "What the fuck is you talking about? You
Like
shouldn't sell your
that's
body,
what they
pimp."
on anyway. Usually.
Well, that's my favorite
But
song by
at the
Whispers,
end of the day, I was only
Olivia the
making a
Slave, when he
comparison.
says he want to buy a new Seville, because that's what he's telling her on the song, right? He's saying, "Don't buy him no Seville, like you don't sell your body." Your grandmama's so disappointed.
I was Ewok, I was actually agreeing with you. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know I wasn't disagreeing with nothing you said
Right.
either, bro.
I was actually agreeing with you. I was saying you doing what you supposed to do right now. By speaking
Right, no doubt. So like I said, shit, you gotta get rid of the darkness with a little light. So all I'm saying is, I was only using what I was saying to make a comparison. When I used the pimp analogy, it was only an analogy. But you know what?
Yeah, it's all good.
Sometimes it
I
is what it
understand
is,
what you're
man. But
saying. You know, you got
I ain't gonna hold y'all though.
I understand. I understand what he's saying. You know what I mean? Like, if it's something
No doubt.
that you're hearing, something you don't like, speak against it. That's what we doing our duty of making the future the way we want it to be. You know what I mean? If I could get one person to hear what I'm saying and agree with me, that's just one more person. You know what I mean? That's building on his future.
But I
You
think
dig
he
what I mean?
also,
So if somebody ain't in agreement with you, yeah, you got to speak against it or say something against it somehow. Ain't nothing
I
wrong with
think
that.
I think Ewok is also saying that just like sometimes you can't, you know what I'm saying, outwalk a pimp, there's gonna be some people out here that ain't gonna be able to outscroll Candace. You know what I'm saying? They're
Right.
gonna hear the shit she say and they're gonna be down. Just like sometimes a pimp, you think you can outwalk him, but he get to talking, you like, you know what I'm saying? That shit sound good. Like, you know what, let me hear what you're saying. And I think
Yeah,
he's saying that's how motherfuckers gonna feel about Candace. They
that's
fuck around and
funny.
get caught up in that scroll, like, God damn it. And bow. Now they down for Candace. So I think that was what he was getting.
I,
Am
I
I right, Ewok? Like,
I totally understood what he was saying.
Right.
I don't think the whole nobody was disagreeing with him. I was making a point about the only counter to that is scrolling past her. If you
some
want
people
to take
can't.
even with my show right now, if we did this show for 10 years and to this point only 3 people had listened, the message, whatever message I was spitting would be null and void because nobody's listening. Nobody cares. They say can't be on some bullshit and keep on scrolling. Now there's some people who be with the bullshit, cheerleaders for foolishness. This is how Jerry Springer, this is how Morton Downey Jr., this is how all these platforms that's negative get traction. I know there's people who listen. Was more or less offering up advice for those people, like just don't listen to what she's saying.
He just saying some people can't get away from it, just like some bitches can't get away from pimps when they
Right.
talking. You try to
Hoes
keep
can't-
walking down the
hoes
block,
gotta-
he's still talking. You're like, baby,
Ah,
hold on, let me say what I gotta hold on now. Listen
he ain't
to
gonna
me.
keep talking if you keep walking.
He
He's
is.
gonna
Hold on
eventually
now. Let
he
me
ain't gonna
tell you.
chase you. Ain't no real pimp finna be running down the street behind you.
I mean, he might walk with you a little bit.
Yeah,
Depending on
but
how
you
fine she
cannot
is, who
walk that. If you
knows?
just say I'm not interested, I'm not interested. You can say, yeah, go on, bitch.
It's
I ain't
some
gonna chase your ass. But if you stop and be like, well, what you say your name was? Lene? Then he know he got you.
see,
Yeah,
was
bitch, yeah.
he talking about the weak ones, I guess. I think that's what he's speaking on. The weak ones and the dumb ones that get pulled in.
He's talking about sheep.
That can't just keep scrolling. They said,
All
what you
right.
say, Candace?
All right. Well, y'all need to learn how to scroll because you'll skip over a lot of bullshit if you learn how to scroll. Ace Cooley said, man, it ain't about her being a coon. This again is another great compromise to keep black folks down. She is part of the establishment. We caught in between neo-fascists and neoliberalism. Liberalism, I'm sorry. The reason we get sellouts is because we let everybody come into our community and disrespect us, and we do nothing collectively. Shit, Charleston White is for black people. Charleston just said, oh my God. Listen. Hold on, before we even go any further. And this is once again we start in on Outlaw Radio, we start getting into kind of personal shit. Really, because for me, and I don't care what point you're trying to make, if your point is to be disrespectful and very, 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 very malicious towards us, like I have my issues with black people, and I'm a black person. I have issues with myself, but I ain't never on here talking about a black bitch ain't shit. And then I'm gonna say I'm trying to prove a point. I'm not. There's no point to be proven by saying fuck a black bitch. I wouldn't let a black bitch leave me across the street. Punk ass hoe. I tell that bitch get in the kitchen. No. You have no point to prove after that. And then, I got a program for little girls. This man is quoted as talking about raping people he's against. He's into it with Matt Hoffa. He's talking about raping his 6 and 7-year-old daughter. This is the kind of shit he be on. He tells T.I., I will George Zimmerman your son. And many other things he said. That's just, first of all, it ain't that serious to try to get our attention. So I look at him and say, I'm not buying that this is a character shit. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. You're dancing a jig. You're doing a Sambo dance. So with Charleston White, I offer, fuck him. I'm not, fuck dude. But now when you saying it's a compromise to keep black folks down. This election is a compromise to keep black people down when it's a woman of color in the race. An accomplished black woman who is right now the vice president of the United States. Please explain to me how this is something that's going to keep her jumping in this election is a compromise to keep us down. Kamar, can you offer me insights on? I'm missing this. That's what I said.
I don't understand. I'm hoping he could call in and explain.
Well, he says,
I don't know how it could be keeping us down. I could see how it could be splitting us as far as got us arguing and shit. I could see that. You know what I mean? I'd like to hear what he mean by that.
Once again, I guess people look more deeply into it. That's why I said, am I missing something? Didn't I say that at the beginning of the show? I asked the people, I said, this is the number, call in. I asked Dion, what am I missing? But I haven't heard anybody give me any information that makes me say no. Over Trump? She could be a hooker on the corner, cracked out, smoked out, jumping in and out of whips, and I'd still vote for her over Trump. I still would. Right. That's just me though. That's I got a microphone.
I wonder would it be different. I wonder would it be different.
Prostitution would be legal, Kevin.
Well, I would hope it, glass half full type shit. Go ahead, Courtney.
I said I wonder would it be different if she was a white woman. You know how everybody, tripping, she ain't no black woman, but if she was a white woman, if it was Hillary, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody act like white is right. White ice is colder. If it was a white woman, but they be like, man, I guess. It's sometimes it be that simple difference. She was white, maybe.
I'm not gonna do like everybody else who has a platform and act like I know everything. I obviously don't have the answer, right? I can admit that openly and freely. My only course of action is sometimes I think you can just overthink or overanalyze a situation. I think the best way to be efficient and move is to keep things simple. Now there's levels of understanding, right? And sometimes a greater understanding of things enables you to keep it simple. You see what I'm saying, Kamar? Like when you really know the business, you come up with a system that makes it efficient.
Yeah, it's easy to make something simple. You could teach it to a 4-year-old.
If you take everything that you know and say, okay, this is it, but I need to come up with a process here. Or else every time I do something, I'm gonna have to go get the manual. I'm gonna have to go get instructions. Hey, how do I turn this off? Hold on, let me go get the manual. Once I know how things that I have access to work, then I need to say, let me utilize this to make this thing work for me. You don't always have time for complication. And I think this she ain't black thing is, I guess, what kills me the most is because I've never heard us say this before about, because we certainly, like I said, we certainly didn't hear what Obama.
They was praising old girl who married the prince,
Meghan Markle.
Yeah, they was praising her. She don't look a lick black.
They was praising Serena. Have you seen
talking
her
about
lately?
She a black? I'm saying they was saying she's a black woman, but why the fuck ain't Kamala then? She looked whiter than Kamala, but black women was saying like she's black. She's a black woman married a prince.
We are reserving the right.
Right, there you go. There you go. We reserving the right to say who black.
Right, we determine. God damn it, who's black? We determine that shit. It's us. We are the gatekeepers for this.
It's fucked up, man.
Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of him. Once
Because
again, I've seen a lot of.
everybody, it's everybody else's opinion if I'm black or not.
No, because I think when you mix, we pick just like
Bullshit.
Drake. I mean, we not
Hey,
calling Drake
bullshit.
black anymore, are we?
Bullshit.
Hold on, Courtney.
Bullshit.
Go ahead, Courtney, because you really low.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I'm saying, I think it just depends on if they mix or not, and then depending on the mix people is then the black community choose. Like Drake, are we considering Drake black anymore?
Well,
He
no,
ain't no
I mean,
more.
Drake
see,
He
is
used to be
president.
black. Hey, he used to be black.
see, so we pick and choose. You know what
Now
I'm
he not like us.
You right.
Now
You
he not
right.
like us.
His daddy was a nigga from Tennessee,
He's
right?
not
From
like
Memphis,
us.
right? He's not. He's
Not
Jewish.
like us.
We gave him away in the racial draft, like Chappelle had. Like we gave up Tiger Woods and shit. Like
The nigga named
Yeah.
Aubrey.
we got Tiger Woods. Who we give up? We gave up somebody. Look,
The nigga
um,
named Aubrey.
Ewok. I'm not Ewok, but Ace is on the line. What it do, Ace?
What up, man? What's
What
poppin'
up,
with
cuz?
What's going on?
you? What's happening with you, man? Let me clarify. First of all, I wouldn't talk about Miss Kamala. I was talking about Candy. I just couldn't put her name. I was typing too fast. You know, half the shit I write out there ain't spelled right in the first place.
Okay.
But anyway, as I stated, I mean, as far as she goes, man, it's. I think in this election, I'm gonna keep it 100, dude. It's either gonna make us or it's gonna break us because we caught me seeing once again the great compromise, neo-fascism, neoliberalism. Key word being neo. They have compromised, and they've agreed that we need to go. So at this point, we either need to put up or shut up and start doing some things for ourselves. As far as the Charleston White thing goes, man, look, I ain't always liked you, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all seen me blasting left and right on Facebook. But when I seen that Cam Newton interview, and I seen another side of it. You know, now granted, he done said some fucked up shit, but he said some correct shit that throws it off. And that's what's hard for people to understand. You know. But when he explained it there, he basically said it then, hey, you know what? Now that I got your attention, we fucked up as a community and as a people.
Oh, we didn't know
You
that,
know.
Charleston. Thanks for letting us know. Like I feel like that's
I know
that's like your
saying,
uncle. That's like your uncle who molested you, but he paid for you to go to college. Ultimately, he did the right thing.
Trust me, I get what you're saying, brother. I get what you're saying because I'm like, man, you know, as far as that goes, nigga, it's causing convolution to the message, whatever you're trying to spit. You know, I get it, but same shit to Candace Owens, man. As I stated before, man, she just gives validation to white supremacy.
Okay.
You know, we don't have to listen to her. It's them that's listening to her. You know, and right now they in control. You get what I'm saying? But until we collectively do some shit, start busting heads and doing shit, doing business with each other, ain't nothing ever gonna change.
Well,
You know?
look, Ace. First of all, I totally understood what Ewok was saying. I totally understood what he was saying. There are some people out here who like. I used to really get mad at what's my man name who used to always argue with, who still has a beef with Tariq Nasheed. What's his name? You know the
Umar.
No. Sotomayor. I used to be like, dude, this mother. But you know what I learned? That after we stopped giving him energy, his profile shrank. Right?
Right.
When I look at Candace Owens, yes, she's a talking head, but she's lost several like jobs that would have empowered her correctly. Because at one point she had a position, right?
Right.
So now, since her popularity is waned and people ain't, you know, she can come out now and say some egregious shit and it's like, yeah, we keep it moving. I feel like that's like she don't have no power to make no impact when she says anything. But I get what he's saying. I think people are like, I don't know if everybody understands. I totally understood what he's saying, especially when he talked about Whitlock and Jason and Tim Scott, and like these soft shooters, these Sambo dancers. I totally understand that, but I'm saying my suggestion, I should have said I suggest that you just not listen to him and not give it credence. Like if somebody says, "Hey, Kevin, did you hear what Candace Owens says about black men?" I'd be like, "Nah, I really don't give a fuck because it don't got shit to do with me."
Yeah, because she's full of shit.
Right,
but
and I know this.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Lately, I mean, people haven't really been hearing her talking lately because she's been going up against them people that I'm, you know, the untouchable. She been going up against some people hardcore, fighting with rabbis and shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that she's basically paid. She was paid to be a Republican. Omarosa was paid to be a Republican. That's the role she got. But when you take that role in our community, ain't no coming back. It ain't no coming back. You know, no matter how right you do, because we don't trust you no more.
Well, it's
You know
like
what I
it's
mean?
like OJ. OJ was, you know, he was doing his thing. OJ was, you know, and then once the murder charges hit, OJ was on BET with the gypsiness. Hey, I just want everybody to know. We're like, nah, bro. I think Ice Cube said that on True to the Game. He said you might have a heart attack when you find out black folks don't want your back. Like somebody like Jason Whitlock, you've been so egregious and so coonish that we don't, at this point, you can't do anything where we're gonna say it's all good. Right. It's a, and so I feel like with Candace Owens, I guess that was my point. I probably did a horrible job of articulating it, but my point was not to tell him, oh, I'm so dismissive of them because I'm aloof and I don't have to pay attention, because I have heard some of their spiel. You know, it's like right now people say, why you don't like Eminem? Have you ever really listened to him? I'm like, yeah, I can tell you why I don't listen to his music because I've listened to it. But they would assume that I've never listened to it. Like, you ain't never listened to his music. I have, and I determined that this is not for me. So I keep scrolling. That was just my thing. I wanted Ewok to understand that we were with him. I think we were more just trying to add to it and kind of like enhance where he was going, but he's like, nah, I don't get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, you
I think what happened was the conversation got convoluted. I'm like, man, hold on, wait a minute. I mean, what I kind of get what both are saying. You know what I'm saying? I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying. It's just sometimes we just got to get on the right page, man. Say, what it is we need to do.
Well, that's why we got this platform, so we can straighten it out. Right? We can say, no, this is what I was trying to say, brother. Oh, excuse me, brother. This is what I was trying. Yeah, no, brother, that ain't what I was saying. You know, it ain't no, fuck you then. No, fuck you, nigga. Like that's when I have a problem with it, when it turns into, oh, you coon ass nigga can't fuck you. Like, and I also got how he was saying there are people who maybe are not informed enough so they could fall victim to her tricks. Right? That happens, right? Like the people who follow Jim Jones down to Jonestown. They couldn't keep scrolling. They couldn't keep scrolling.
And you know they was all white though, right?
A great majority of them were, right. But people don't even know that dude was like a civil rights hero in before he left. Like people in the community loved him. I think, you know, black people, when you started, we moving to Ghana, black shit. I go to his church, but I ain't moving no goddamn Ghana. You know how we is and shit. You take the bomb in there. I love this nigga, but I ain't taking the bomb in there. You do that shit, Reverend Jones.
They gullible as fuck. And like I say, you get them validation, man. Well, all right, let's go fuck them up. You know, I mean, we know how fucked up it is. So then you ain't got to tell us. We know how fucked up the world is, where they still kind of, it doesn't happen to me, so it's not really going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of confused people.
Earl Henning in the chat room, he said, what to do, my brothers and sisters love us. Absolutely. Ewok says he doesn't feel like we lost each other at all. I thought we had a civilized conversation. Yeah, that's the only kind we're gonna have on here. That's the only kind of conversation we're gonna have, because we won't even entertain. How many times have I just even hung up on people when shit just went left? Come on. And people's mad as fuck at me and shit. Uh-oh. Ace, you gotta turn that down. You gotta turn that down. Turn the TV down. I turn the TV down.
My bad.
But no, so that's it's all good. I mean, I want people out there to say, wait a minute, it's something other than Candace. Like, if that's what you enthrall, if that's what got you loopy, even the thing about the hoe, like, until she wants something better, she gonna hoe. So it don't matter if you say, look, you selling your body, you giving him all your money, and she said, nah, this is what I do though. Like, you holding me up. Give my $40 and let me go. It ain't till it really hit her upside the head and she see you and she be like, was you serious when you was what you were saying about? Yeah, like that. she got to be ready to stop hoeing. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. just saying. Unless she got a gorilla pimp that'd be like, no, your ass ain't going nowhere. And she be like, no, you don't understand. This motherfucker will kill both of us. You might hoe too. You never know. He might have a new hoe. Okay, we work for him. Nah, talking shit. It's toward the end of the show. I'm getting a little loopy. But nah, man, I hear what everybody's saying. I just think we need to collectively come to an understanding of, I feel like we're being very hypocritical with this particular situation. I really feel like black people are really tripping right now. And like I said, I was listening to Lord Jamar, who I dig Lord Jamar. And I listened to what he said, but then he came out, and one thing I was listening to his show. I live in the Podverse. Kamar said the other night, we both said it's only two people. Which one you voting for? He said, don't give me that bullshit. And he started naming off people that were running like Cornel West, but then he said, oh, but he's pro-vaccination. And then he named off somebody else and said, but they anti-reparation. So you just eliminated those two. We're right back to these two.
And then let's be honest, they ain't gonna get enough votes to win anyway.
If we go vote for them, they will. Come on.
Same niggas ain't even gonna vote.
Niggas ain't gonna vote anyways. Hey, stop it, man. I love my people, but y'all asses no, but like, damn, that was today. When you ask niggas, did you go to that was today? Oh man, I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, just in case you're just tuning in, we got justice in Milwaukee. The 4 individuals who murdered the brother Devontae Mitchell at the Hyatt Regency have been charged felony murder charges. I'm going to say their names again: Todd Erickson, Brandon Turner, Herbert Williamson, Devin Carson Johnson. Felony murder. I'm sad that old Becky who snuck some licks in. Her ass should have been charged with something. I hope it's fall too. What you say, Courtney?
I said that black man was mad. Like, look, man, my manager, he just told me to go out there and help.
Yeah, we already talked about that, Sambo, talking about I just did what they told me to do so I can keep my job. You buck dancing ass nigga. Stop it, man. I did. Listen, I ain't never had a job so good where my supervisor could say, come on, Kevin, how about whoop his ass? And I don't be like, let's go. I'd be like, motherfucker, you ain't see it. Listen, man. Especially once again, watching this video with them dragging this brother, just this one white man who is just turned into a fucking plantation owner. He's dragging this brother. And then the young brother ran up there and just got to dropping bombs. I'm looking like, who raised you? Now that's some coon shit. And if I was at the front desk and that's what they paid me for, you couldn't tell me to help security. I'd be like, I ain't security, motherfucker. Shit, I'm working this computer. Yeah, I'm motherfucker go ahead and handle that shit. Now because you refuse, and you know, these are the weak-minded people that Ewok was referencing, I suppose. Because this is why somebody like Candace Owens can be dangerous, because you know, soft shoes will get with her and think, well, I got to do what they tell me to do. Master said, you come on or you's gonna lose your job. That nigga, I looked at him with that little video he made. I don't know if he thought that shit was, he said, I'm gonna turn myself in. He probably the only one still that's locked up right now. In the Journal Sentinel, at that point, they only had one that was down there. I'm pretty sure it was his ass. He would go down there. I didn't mean for him to die. You might not have put your hands behind your goddamn back. Your ass in that cell. Shit. Now, them other 3, like, man, we gotta get to Chicago or some shit. Now, you the only one down there with your dumb ass. I just doing what they told me. Well, sit your ass down then. Do what we told you to do. God damn it. Man, good Lord.
Hey, he probably really didn't want nothing to happen to him. You know what I mean? But it was just that nigga moment.
Right. Well, maybe you shouldn't have leaned on his back if you didn't want anything to happen to him.
That nigga moment.
Maybe on Sean Moore's video, you should have been the one saying, hold on, y'all, hold on, man. Hold on. Y'all, hold on. Look, let him up, Bob, Bill, whatever the fuck.
It was scary the way that man was screaming for help.
Man. I got his leg, boss. Come on, man. You walk the yard, nigga. Walk the yard. You get on in PC. I'm not PC. I mean Gen Pop. Ewok said, "Stop laughing, Courtney. I thought you heard my point." Everybody heard your point, Ewok.
It's just funny, all of this. I mean, it's true. Again, if you make it funnier, you do.
Earl Henny said, "We know women got something that sell when cotton don't." They said that's what the bed wench who said she got so moist because Donald Trump kissed her at a Chick-fil-A in Atlanta. She was moist behind that. Ooh, boss, thank you. She said she ain't against the breakdown of the black family. Ask Mrs. Willie, whatever the fuck his name was. What was his name? The mayor of San Francisco. Ask Mrs. I said, if you don't sit your ass down, that didn't move me because you said that wasn't slick. We don't know who you screwing, right? She wants to destroy the black family because she cheated with a married black man. She wants to destroy. But then you mad because she married to a white dude. So which one is it? That she cheated with a black man or she married to a white dude?
I mean, black women destroy black families every day. Then if we doing that, what you mean? What?
Black men too. Then don't none of us give a fuck about you, right?
Right.
It's like
we ruin families
we in
every day.
trouble, right? But people say, yay! I was like, y'all some damn idiots. Y'all some idiots, man. Tiarsha Arthur, shout out to Tiarsha. She said, right, I would have been fired and suing their asses. I sure wouldn't have been on video. First of all, I understand everywhere you go right now, somebody got their goddamn phone out. So you sure wouldn't have had my big black ass leaning on his back. Come on, be still. Be still. Stop fighting. Stop fighting. Even when he's saying, please let me up, and the white man's yelling, stop fighting, I'd have said, hey, man, he ain't fighting, man. Let's let him up. That's what the first thing I would have said. This shit is all for them. You got what you paid for. You got what you paid for. Ewok said, got his dumb ass. Yeah, he was so step and fetch it on the little video too. Like, I was just trying to work my job and take care of my family. I'm like, where they get this nigga from? Is he a time traveler? Did they kidnap this nigga from 1845 and hire him at the highest? Like, where's he from? Yeah, I sure did not mean to cause no harm to that young man. Maybe you shouldn't have leaned your big ass on his back.
Right.
You dumb son bitch, man. That's my uncle used to say, you's a dumb son bitch. You's a dumb son bitch. Tiarsha says the clear person that was the manager is the only one locked up. Okay, so they didn't get old school yet. They didn't get young. What they used to get them slaves, them old names. They didn't catch Nebuchadnezzar yet. They didn't catch old Solomon.
They ain't get Wilbur yet.
Solomon. They didn't get them them slaves and old
Cletus.
Oh man, that's funny as hell. Here comes Moses. That's how you know you a slave and shit. You named it after one of them. That's Isaac right there. Old man Isaac. She said, have you spoke on the football player that the hospital in North Carolina killed him for his organs? I seen that story. We did not talk about it because I didn't do any kind of, and once again, I try my best not to talk about something if I don't got some sort of understanding. And there was the young man in Atlanta. He was hit by a car, right? And he was, I'm sorry, North Carolina. North Carolina. And the footage was of his family, I guess, actually in the operating room trying to revive him because the hospital had said, no, we just rather have his organs or something similar to like somebody laced me up on that. I seen the footage.
I saw another story though that it was that he was in there and the parents were getting ready to transport him to a different hospital and that the doctors put some in his IV.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
I've seen two different things. So yeah, we gotta do some research on that.
Yeah, I seen that too, Courtney. Now that you mentioned that, I did see when I read the because it was like a posting and it said one of the family members was saying, well, they tampered with his IV to kill him so they can get his organs. Right. You know, if that's the case, I'm not saying it's not, but if that's the case, there should be hundreds of millions of dollars rewarded. And I hate to go to the money like it because I understand it doesn't replace your loved one. I do get that. But then what does justice look like if there's no financial compensation? I think, let's try
What did they do when remember that teenager got found rolled up in that mat and then when they checked him out, all his organs was gone. He was filled with newspaper or something.
Right. Yeah.
Like, what did they compensate that family?
I don't, that's been an ongoing thing. I think that if initially a judge had thrown out any kind of foul play or then they said he killed himself. And everybody's like, how the fuck he kill himself and roll himself up in the mat? Like, I don't know. So if anybody out there knows what's the latest development in that, I'm sure. Well, first of all, let me say if the judge throws it out and there's really no, I don't know how you would get any kind of because nobody's been charged, nobody's been held responsible for his death. So who would you sue? I think the parents probably could legally, and I'm not a lawyer, but they probably could go and get a, some sort of attorney. And where's Benjamin Crump at when you need him? What he got to say about this? Because he be.
And I just feel like with this situation, it'd probably be the same. Because I mean, how can you really prove if you ain't got the doctor's own recorded saying that we just trying to get his organs? How can you really prove that? How can you prove that what you're saying happened? I mean, not saying that is not what happened, but how can they prove that to get some compensation?
Well, if they can go into it through the autopsy, if they can go and prove any kind of foul play with his IV, in anything that's in his blood that shouldn't be there, like that was the family's accusation. So if there's any evidence of that, I think that would be probably the only way, you know what I mean? But to prove that, they intentionally killed him, because who knows if hospitals ain't playing tricks like that, it ain't nothing else we can do for them. That's what they tell you, and then they go back there and put that shit in you so they can get your organs. Like, we don't, that might be something, that might be the latest jig. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So yeah, definitely something to look into. I haven't really looked into it. I haven't looked into it, Tiarsha. He said, Earl Henning said, because it wasn't her getting fucked, that's why she mad. He's talking about the well, she wanted Trump. He's talking about the bed wench in Atlanta. She wanted Trump. What's going on in Atlanta though? Because it seems like Atlanta, the black population in Atlanta, is really pro-Trump. Now, like I said, is this something?
I don't know, man. It ain't look
something?
like that on that thing when he was down there in Atlanta.
Okay.
I think they was talking about how empty it was down there for him and shit. He complaining. He was talking shit, saying, they wouldn't let us in. They wouldn't let all of us in. It's about a couple thousand of us outside. You know how Trump talking.
Yeah, that motherfucker will lie in a minute, won't he, Kamar?
Won't he, man? Like right in your face. Like the camera was on the seats, right?
That motherfucker said
he said propters outside.
He said the convention in Milwaukee was the greatest convention of all times. He said we broke every last television record that ever happened, that it was ever existed. And then they went and researched and said, you didn't even break the record that you had last time you was here, viewership wise. And then he said, the people in Wisconsin all told me they was going to vote for me because I put $250 million in their economy. And not only was you lying about that, Milwaukee County got a $19 million budget deficit. Right. If you added 250, I'm sure DC could call a little buddy and say, hey man, I need to holler at you, bro.
But my thing is, no matter what black folks say or what people say to you, period, I think motherfuckers with money, they voting Republican. Even niggas in here in the city, niggas that got a little bit of money, rappers, celebrities, they might, be on TV. Yeah, Kamala, we have the Kamala rally, but I feel like if you got some money, they voting Republican. They gonna tell us something else, but they probably vote Republican. Most people are protecting if they got money, they're protecting it, or what they think is protecting it. So they're probably not gonna vote Democrat. They might be telling us that, but I think a lot of folks with some money is voting Republican. Yeah, Trump or not, I think they.
We'll see, but they call them the 1% for a reason. Because there's way more people that's poor than there's people who got money. So when you bring a Megan Thee Stallion.
It's the basic motherfuckers think they got money. It's motherfuckers here that got like adult family homes. They consider themselves having money. They voting Republican. So
okay,
you gotta be rich.
But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, even if you're in that situation, right, and you say, I'm voting for Trump, and I get it because supposedly, we know that he's not gonna tax rich people. He's no different from anybody else. Like the richest people pay the least taxes, right? So I can see how those people would think, well, I'm protecting my money because I make a little bread. I make more than the average person. But I think when you go and bring Megan Thee Stallion and you do all this kind of stuff, you're trying to appeal to the people who don't got no bread.
Very true.
Like you trying to get them to come. That's why you're doing it. Because there's no other reason for Megan to be up there twerking. Because, and Kamala's like, she's a, what's she, a AKA? She went to Howard.
That poor niggas in.
Ooh. Yeah. So she got all them, and some of them got money. What you call them? So 5 for 5. Shout out to my daughter. She's a Zeta. I don't want to say anything too bad. She'd be on my heels like, Daddy, I told you about that shit.
Yeah, don't be doing that.
Yeah, she told me, you stop talking bad on the Divine Nine, Dad. I was like, well, I will. I do what I'm told. My bad, Taylor. But she was at the Boule, and they actually called the event the Boule. She was in Indiana. for the Zeta 5, whatever it is, Boulay, and she saw
Well, that's what they
Kamala.
do for each other, though.
She saw Kamala. That was one of her first stops.
Yeah.
So my daughter heard her speak and was like, Dad, you know, like black people on some bullshit right now. That's basically what she said to me. Like, you got to go listen to her speak. Listen to her speak. And I don't need to listen to Kamala either because I pretty much know what she's going to say. T. Arson said his family said, get in his car. We taking you to the backwoods of Mississippi. Yeah, that's that. I don't know if he got enough sense to get away, though. Because if you let somebody your boss just tell you, come on out here and help me kill this nigga, and you go, you're really not that smart. I mean, his whole argument was, I didn't mean for this to happen. I was doing what I was told to keep my job.
It's so many people like that, though. It's so many motherfuckers it's so many followers in this world that if you put them in them situations, they gonna go. They gonna follow their boss. Go do
Yes, sir.
People be acting so fucking confused, like they can't make their own choice. I need some simple shit. Like I was on the plane, I had my little baby. You know what I'm saying? Our seats was mixed up. I'm like, yo, can you sit in his seat so he could be next to me? And chick was like, well, I don't know if we can do that. I don't know if we're allowed to do it. Like, bitch, who cares? Like, we ain't gotta just sit in that seat and he gonna sit in this seat. But in this people, that's my point, that some people are just they're gonna follow the instruction, just go with it. They need the guidance. Okay, you say go do what? All right. Okay.
I got you, Miss Owens.
Yeah.
You sure is thoughtful.
Right.
I get it. I think that's what Ewok was trying to say.
Like Ewok over there, like that's what I was saying.
Right. Like it's a lot of weak-minded people out here, man. Earl says it sure will make you feel good. That money. He said, R.I.P., bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I keep saying suing and litigation and all this kind of stuff, and I'm not trying to diminish the impact of your family member being unjustifiably murdered by these people. But I'm saying when they do it, I'm long been a supporter of, if you really want to do something that'll get the white man's attention, you got to hit his pockets. Got to hit his pockets. Like that's the only thing they're gonna pay attention to. That by what they call that bottom line. When that money get funny, it's like, wait a minute, goddamn it, hold on. let those coloreds in. When them buses,
let's see what he got to say.
Right. When that bus fare stopped coming in down in Alabama, and Martin them was said, we ain't riding your bus. They said, well, god damn it, nigger, you can sit in front if you want to. So we should have just bought our own buses with the money we saved, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Earl says too many shortfalls and money still missing around when they put the black man in charge. Well, Dion came on here himself and said he don't want no black mechanic. Only thing he'll buy from black people is food.
I told you that's the whole white is right. Bet you if it was a white woman up there, motherfuckers might be like, well, you know.
And she was married to a black man. Then black people would feel good.
Ooh, they sure would. Don't put that in there. Ooh,
she can come to the cookout.
She down. She got a black man.
Two-step or some shit, Kev.
Somebody get her some watermelon. Hurry up.
I'm voting for her. I like her.
Bo Stenovich. Oh no, she married to a brother. Her name's Jackson now, right? Like she's a white Jackson. I mean, hypocritical. The hypocrisy in our democracy. Stop it. And listen, once again, if this is my thing to the people. If this is where we at moving forward from now on, that we're not voting for anyone who runs for an election unless they're a foundational black American, I'm with the shit. But be consistent now. Don't do it on this one. And then a light-skinned motherfucker show up and you be like, but she all right though. No. I don't want to hear you playing DeBarge. I want you playing Al B. Sure. I want and Drake. All we doing from now on is foundational black Americans. I don't want to see you spending no money with nobody who ain't no foundational black American. I'm saying if we gonna do it, let's do it. I know we ain't. That's why this argument is bullshit. Niggas still gonna run to the Grammys and the American Music Awards and try to get Oscars and look for white validation, but then tell a woman of color that she ain't black enough to be the president. When, like I said, your favorite rapper, your favorite actor, your favorite politicians, they all married to white people. Hell, half the NBA is married to white women.
What does she put down on her application though?
Other. I bet you she put black. I bet you she put African American.
Because I know a chick who her mom is Filipino, her dad is black, but she looks kind of like pure Filipino. So it made me wonder, like, damn, do she put like A's in Pacifica, or do
Right,
she
she put the
black?
whole script on there.
Or, you know, I wonder how they identify.
Atlas Burns, what it do, my brother? What it do? What it do? What it do?
What up,
Family. What's happening, man? EBA faux life. He says white people ice is colder. Absolutely, it tastes so much better. It's so refreshing.
Because imagine if that was a white
Hey,
woman.
it's a little sweet too.
Like, imagine that, Kim.
What she said, Kumar made me laugh. He says it's a little sweet too. It's just a little, you know, black people be like, it's a little sweet.
You know, niggas like sweet shit.
You know that shit. I don't give a fuck what it is. You be like, it's a little sweet too. Like, oh, shit. The white ice be just a little sweet, man. No, that's a little sweeter. Right. That's true, man. I don't listen. We are great fans of white people. It's like we act like we're not. Like black people be trying to act, and you really trying to act anti-white? Come on, man. Because if you are, then you're doing the wrong thing by going against a person who has melanin in their skin versus this fucking Nazi that you supporting. This motherfucker is telling you, I don't give a fuck about none of y'all, and you're totally ignoring it. You didn't say this about Barack Obama, and then you didn't say nothing when he said it won't be no black agenda. You still said he cool though. Did you see him sing Al Green? That shit was dope. Come on, man. We're being a little funny right now, y'all. It's a little sketchy. And I know people can make great points about, you know, she did this, she did that. But they all have did this or did that. Like, we were mad at Biden. Biden is actually one of the architects of the crime bill of 94, which y'all was pissed about. But y'all was going to vote for him again. A lot of y'all. And if you say, I was going to vote for Trump. Come on, man. Do we even got to start with Trump? Let's just start with his latest 32 felonies that he was just convicted for. 34. But she ain't black, so we ain't voting for her. And she was a lawyer. So we ain't gonna vote for her. Right? Like, it's crazy. A said we need to bring back the deacons for defense. During the bus boycott, they was daring any black person to get on the bus. They would have gotten whooped like they got caught by the KKK. Yeah, I'm pretty sure them white people would have made, you know, look, the deacons of defense, that's a hell of a story. It's a hell of a story. It really is. It really is. And I forget the sister's name who really actually came up with the whole Black Panther thing to get black people to vote, get registered to vote in the South. I forget her name. Was it Fannie Lou Hamer? I would have to do my research. I'm a little rusty on that end. But yeah, at least we know there's some justice, man, that's supposedly being done. I seen that Serena Williams was turned away from a fancy French restaurant in France called Peninsula. Yeah, her and her family.
Damn.
They were turned away, and she immediately tweeted and said, they just turned me away. First of all, what is up with Serena? Why is she light-skinned now?
Her whole face different. You know, sometimes on Instagram they show them side by sides, and then like the old her and the new her. Man, that's a whole different face.
Why is she a Muppet now? I don't understand.
It's wild. I wonder why she
then she runs off with her alabaster prince, and okay, you're the symbol of integration and interracial love. And as soon as they won't let you in the restaurant, you running back to us.
I think Eve might more so be the symbol of that. You know, Eve got with that little white millionaire and shit been lavish.
Every time an old Eve song comes on, I skip. And I used to like her show. I used to dig her show. I used to watch it. And it ain't in syndication now. But anything Eve's on, I don't even listen to it now. Like, no, come on, man. Yeah, stop. Just
because she living her best life with that white man?
Yeah, well, you know, I guess. That's some
Jackson with that Arab man.
What Kumar said, that ice kind of sweet. Kind of sweet. It's a little, you taste that? Nigga, that's that good white ice right there. Like, word. Pepsi ain't never been this good till I put some white ice in this shit. I'm trying to tell you. And it's discriminatory of me, right? I be the first one to tell you I got some double standards. One thing you never hear me say on this show is that I'm perfect. I'm the top. No, I'm a human fucking being, right? I came from the same place everybody else came from. I try to do right. I'm still just a regular human. So I'm judgmental in some regards about, you hear me say on here, people, fuck them, they can kiss my ass. Everybody's like, damn, Kev, like, I'm not always right, but guess what? I'm not always wrong. And that's the most important part of it. And so, you have to take the rooter with the tutor. Who is this in the chat room? Earl Henny said, that's what's wrong. Now they ain't locking these motherfuckers up, so they think they can do what the fuck they want to do out here. Well, we just see the Harley Davidson rider who was murdered by a hit and run driver here, 14-year-old black kid.
Yeah.
Who had carjacked somebody. And so what should we do with this kid? He's only 14. He don't know no better.
He definitely, he getting locked up about life too.
Some people would disagree with that. He's a juvenile. He's only 14. He comes from this crazy community. I bet you his family situation is crazy. People say, Kev, he didn't know no better, Courtney.
This equivalent to the 10-year-old then. You know what I'm saying? The 10-year-old ain't know no better. If we just fuck.
Well, that's what I said. But everybody else was like, Kev, you tripping. I said, put that nigga in Waupun. I didn't really mean to put a 10-year-old in Waupun. I was trying to say it for effect, though. But I was trying to, my point was lock his ass up. Stop giving him pats on the wrist. We got to go back to okay, you ain't going to do right. I'm going to make you do right. Mandatory minimum.
Cars and drive normal. I used to steal cars and drive normal. Like, why don't nobody drive normal? And don't get pulled over. Just drive normal. Just cruise.
It's a thing. I'm starting to really get into this idea that maybe the influence, and I hate to say this shit because it's making me, it makes me probably older than I really am. Maybe the influence of something like Grand Theft Auto on these kids because of the way you get on that game. And at a young age, we know you're really impressionable, right? And you combine that with the fact that there's no driver's ed in school anymore, right? And so you take all of this, and here's these kids and there's influence of a lot of other things, including their own family influences in their community. And there's a short circuit. So you do get in this car and you feel like, oh, I'm whipping, but you have no idea of what you're playing with. This is what, 3,000 pounds of metal that can get up to 85, 95, 100 miles per hour. When you hit something in that, there's death and dismemberment. And so but I still say lock his ass up. No way around it. I didn't know. I know. They're gone in there. You figure it out.
Definitely added to me taking cars. I'm like, I know how to hit these corners and shit, and I did indeed. So I do attribute that to a video game. My kids' granddad just bought them Grand Theft Auto for their Nintendo Switches, and they 7 and 9. They in the back seat talking about, yeah, man, I'm getting chased by I'm like, what are you playing? Oh, I text him so goddamn fast.
But Courtney, that's a teachable moment, though. You said 7 and 9.
Yeah, so
that is the right age to sit them down and talk to them and say, this is fiction, this is fake, this is not reality. Do you see mama driving like that? Because if she did, y'all would never be safe. Do y'all see these people when somebody's on the news and you see a car accident, you say, see, this is what happened when you think you own that video game. That's what can happen to you. Those kids will soon start to register, say, oh, mama, that's it right there, right? Like, so it's a teachable moment for you to grab your boys and say, you know what? Y'all gonna play this game? All right, well, check this out. And then at 7 and 9, I don't think that you shouldn't be playing Grand Theft. Like my son didn't start till he was like 12. And then even then, it was like
that shit. I thought they had the official game. I'm like, where the game at? I'm finna keep it. It's on our Switches. I'm like, oh, y'all paid for it. Well, okay, I'm gonna delete it and I'm gonna give y'all both y'all money back. Because they paid for it. They put their money together. They wanted that game. We was with Pawpaw and they must have gave him the cash and got his card. Like, boy, I'm gonna delete that shit.
Grandpa was like, what do you call it game?
Right.
The auto theft. What did it say? Grandmama theft? Whatever it was. Yeah, you put the numbers in. I can't see the shit. Kids in order porn and all kinds of shit.
Oh,
No, I just think it's an opportunity for you to sit down and talk to your boys. And really explain the difference between reality. Because if it's not that game, Courtney, it's some movie. If it's not some movie, it's some book or some song or some video, right? Like you have to have that conversation with your kids, like no matter what. Like I don't, every time I hear my son listening to this, sprayed him up with the chopper, got the switch on the Glock, and I'm like, that's fake, right? I know he's like, I'm so tired of hearing this dude say it's fake. Like, it's not reality, right? That's just a song, right? You know what happened to niggas who do that kind of shit, right? Like, so I've been once he started playing Grand Theft, that was the first thing I said to him, like, this is a video game, right? He like, yeah, dad. Like I was just trying to defuse him thinking that this was some semblance of reality. I played violent video games growing up. I watched violent movies, and this is probably not a good example because I was a fairly violent individual when I was younger. But I still managed to get to the line and not step over it, And I think that there's hope for our kids in that if we talk to them and communicate with them, that they got a better chance. It's not 100% foolproof, but the more you talk, the better off you are. That's my theory on parenting. You really have to talk to your kids. You really got to engage with them. Like I know because I be tired and I be working. Well, set aside some time. Like you take them somewhere and sit them down and say, hey, so what y'all been up to? Like you really have to know what's going on with them. If not, then yeah, Grand Theft is going to be what taught you how to drive. There's young people who say that. I learned how to drive on Grand Theft Auto. Then you don't know how to drive, motherfucker. You don't know how to drive. Yeah. I didn't know you.
Why do you say such a thing, though? I mean, I learned to drive on Gran Turismo, and then I began stealing cars, and now I'm your 5-star favorite Uber Lyft driver.
Yeah, that's like what 12 years of driving in the real world.
Oh, yeah.
After that, like you were in you might have wanted to drive from playing them video games, but they didn't teach you how to drive. You learned how to drive by driving a car.
Yeah, when I hopped out here.
Yeah, but even when you first got out here, you didn't know how to drive. When I first got my driver's license, I could drive well enough to pass the test, but I couldn't drive because I wasn't a defensive driver. And in order to be a good driver, you got to be a defensive driver, meaning you got to watch out for everything around you. I just jump in my car and just flip. Woo, we out here. God just carried me. Now I know how to drive. Now I know mirrors, right? Like how traffic, all the signs and all this. I ain't nervous when the motherfucker. When I first started driving, I was like, I'm gonna wing it, right? So I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. But I don't think it taught you how to drive. I think you said,
yeah,
I want to drive, right? So it's natural for a young kid to even want to drive in. My son he was begging me to drive from 10 years old. I'm like, dude, you can't even see over the wheel yet. I want to drive. I waited till he was about 14, then I let him drive and shit. And he's like, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing, but he thought he was. He thought he was whipping. It's funny as hell. Like, dude, you don't even know what you're looking at. Y'all be careful. I told y'all this boar's head meat. If you get your lunch meat, from Walmart or they said Publix or one of these stores, that recall for boar's head lunch meat is up to 7 million pounds of meat that has listeria. There's a couple people dead. This is more and more common now, even with some of the frozen fruit, right? The frozen fruit and vegetables. My wife had purchased all these packets of fruit, and she was like, "I'm gonna make smoothies, so because nutritious and healthy." And then I just noticed the smoothie shit stopped. I'm like, what happened to the smoothies? And she's like, well, I found out that those frozen fruit and a lot of that stuff, it was giving people, it wasn't listeria at that time. It was the other one. I forget what the poisoning. And so she stopped doing that. And then I looked in the refrigerator one day and I said, well, where the cheese at? And she said, see that block of cheese? You get that and you grate your own cheese, because I found out that they put a chemical in cheese to make it string up properly.
Yeah.
So when you're eating that pre-shredded cheese, it's got chemicals in it.
Yeah. That's why you can't make macaroni with that. You got to get a block to make macaroni because that powder or whatever don't blend well,
The point is, most of the processed food that we eat is bad anyways.
Yes.
And this meat, this lunch meat, I mean, I trust roast beef because I can watch them cut the roast beef or ham, Some of this shit is like, nah, man. You shouldn't still be eating bologna.
All lunch meat is cancerous, though.
Is it?
Yeah, if you look it up, it's set as a cancerous meat. Really, all meat is cancerous, but like lunch meats, hot dogs, all that are cancer. Yeah.
Can we call hot dogs meat?
But see, that's why it's cancerous. Whatever it is,
it's spare parts. It's spare parts.
Yeah.
I'm fucking eating Jello, talking about I'm on a diet. Eating animal hoof. Maybe the best thing is that we start to learn about what it is that we eat. Like a lot of people don't know the difference between clean food, like clean eating. Anytime it's processed, just look at the labels. You muted, Kamar. You muted.
A lot of the time when I tell people to eat clean, they don't know what I'm talking about. They have no clue. What do you mean? What do you mean? Eat clean. Wash your fruit. You're supposed to wash your fruit anyway. But
that is clean though, right? Well, I feel like anytime you put a meal together, the less processed food you have, the better off you are. If you're eating rice, like my wife makes this other kind of rice now, not white rice. It's this
jasmine rice, basmati rice, what?
Jasmine rice, where she's like, well, plain rice is just sugar, and so we don't use regular salt. We use pink Himalayan salt. But it starts to come down to, do you know what it means when you look at the label? High fructose and red number 9 and all this kind of stuff, and you start finding out shit is a different color in England because that shit that they made it with is banned in America. So when I say clean, Kamar, you probably got a more thorough definition than me. When I say clean, I say try to eat as least processed foods as you can, and try to use as least seasonings as you can. But that's hard for black people because we got to season some shit. Like
flavor,
man, garlic powder, onion powder.
Really is. I like when I say eat clean, I'm talking about fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Clean. Eat fruits and vegetables. Everything that your body understands. Everything that's beneficial for you. That's clean eating.
Don't put salt on it.
If I'm eating lean meat as opposed to fatty meat, I feel like that's eating cleaner than just.
I would say it is for somebody who eat meat.
Right. Okay. I just want to make sure we ain't too far apart, right?
And we ain't. You know what I mean? It's like I say, we all at different levels. You know what I mean? In different spaces. So it's about doing better, whatever it is you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, if you ain't doing just raw fruits and vegetables, you're doing it right. So we all got a ways to go.
I did something this summer that I never thought I'd ever be able to do. I've drank one soda since late May. Like, right?
That's right, Kev.
For real. And I Diet Pepsi, like for me, like Diet Cola. I don't know, I'm weird. I like diet soda, right? It's just, and it's worse than regular soda because of artificial sweeteners, right? And so, but all of that, I said, now what I do drink is tea. I drink Arizona tea, and I drink iced tea. I love iced tea, but no Pepsi, no Mountain Dew, no Coke, and no McDonald's this whole summer.
Proud of you,
no McDonald's. One time I had a double stack from Wendy's. I ain't been to Burger King. None of that. For real.
I'm proud
For real. No, because it's just exercise and discipline, right? It's just like, okay, not one thing I will do though, just since I told you I still got issues. I will still eat a bag of pork rinds.
I let pork rinds go. I let it go on my birthday, and then maybe like last month I grabbed maybe like 5 bags, and then my birthday was in March, so last month, and then I let it go again because pork rinds, ooh, they got a fucking hold on me now. That ain't right.
Well, I gotta wait now. One time a week, I will allow myself like this morning. I said, you've been doing good. I've been eating crackers and shit, and taking carrots and celery to work like a fucking rabbit. I said, I'm gonna give me some goddamn hot and spicy, and I did.
Pork rinds, it's cracklings at that. I be on some cracklings.
And occasionally, if I go to Century down here, and I see Glorious Malone, I will get some spicy hog head cheese.
Not the hog head cheese.
The hog head cheese.
Like they all fucked up, but it's like
on the saltine crackers. Like it's like it just take me all the way back, man. I swear it's like eating a bag of pork. I feel like I'm sitting there watching Dallas or Knots Landing with my mother or something when I was a little kid, because she always had a ginormous bag of skins. And like you said, she'd make her own cracklings.
That's right.
So she had a big bowl of them, and they was salted in perfection. And so what they say, comfort food, right? They say comfort food.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what the effect of it is for me, because it's just like, moms used to have all the snacks. Mom, let me have some. Come on here and sit your ass down. And so, but bacon, I'm minimal on. I'm gonna tell y'all something else. I know this ain't about me, because they said stop. Courtney already told me stop making this shit about me.
What about you?
But I'm even getting into the turkey spaghetti, because my wife only eats turkey and chicken. And I was eating some turkey spaghetti one day. I said, this shit good.
The grilled ain't no different. I mean,
it's not. I thought it would taste bland, though. I would be like, no, I got to have that flavor. But it's
like ground beef. You got to season it.
Right.
Ground beef is bland.
Right. Well, yeah, that's true too. You're right. One barbecue so far on July 4th. I'm due for a baby back any day now. I guess my whole point is just to start trying means something, like, to me, right? Like, because sometimes we just get settled into our habits so much that we just like, like you keep doing them. And I'm like, it takes a little discipline to walk past the Pepsi sometimes, or the Mountain Dew, or because I don't drink coffee. So early in the morning, if I need to pick me up, usually I grab a Dr. Pepper, grab a, Mountain Dew, whatever. But I'm like, no, I can't do it. So it's a process, man. I'm trying, though. If I can ever get to the point like my wife where I say I'm only eating fish or turkey and chicken, then I will have made incredible strides. I don't see that no time in the future, though. I really don't, because a steak shish kebab is calling my name sometime soon. So my grill will have fire in it. And a big ass steak, because my birthday coming up. So I'm getting me one of them Flintstone steaks this year for my birthday.
Are you gonna make a veggie shish kebab too?
No. I put chicken or turkey on it for my wife. If I was having guests who were like, if you just come to the cookouts scale, I don't eat meat. I say put 2 or 3 of them on there with no meat for cuz. I ain't against it. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be some A1 steak sauce involved if I gotta eat one. But yeah, man, eat y'all. There you go. Eat clean. Hit Kamara up. Ask him for a consultation.
Yeah. Or just pull up to the Sherman Phoenix. Between 11 to 2, Tuesday to Friday.
So I'm trying to change the way I eat, brother. How should I start? Don't tell him you finna be him tomorrow, though, because you ain't. Right? Don't tell him that. Then he see you at Judy's Red Hots coming out with the Chicago Dogs. Like, bro, you wasted my time. So get some understanding about it. Let me see. Oh shit, the chat room was, and we supposed to have been off the air. I said I was gonna keep it short. I want y'all to know that. Let me see. He said that's what's wrong now. This is Earl. He was saying they think they can do what the fuck they want to do. He said so you don't have to go visit them when they being locked up. Tiarsha says, I say a lot of people need to stop telling their kids about the dumb shit they used to do. Stop glorifying it because it wasn't cute when they did it. Oh, that's a good point. Especially brothers.
Some old days like it was all fun.
Especially us, Kamar. Especially brothers. Yeah. Niggas ain't real. Like when I was in the streets. Like we do throw that shit out there, don't we? Like it was structured in. No, it wasn't. It was dumb as fuck then.
Dumb as fuck.
That's a good point, TR. Anytime I've had to regale some of my past adventures, I've often I try to attach you to my kids. Like it was wrong. It was wrong. But this is what we was doing. It was wrong. Said,
that's why we can say it was wrong, because we seen it.
He said we can't eat shit. That's my thing about the streets, Kamar. Like anytime I'm telling my son, if I'm talking about, I remember, this was that, I always try to make sure the point of it is that something happened because of what we was doing.
Right.
Right. Like I could say, man, we used to, drink and smoke and but that's why to this day I got some friends who still have issues with drugs and alcohol.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I try to make a point. So
exactly.
Yeah. It's just, I heard my daddy's, he told me some of his exploits when he was growing up. I didn't try to go recreate
it. For a moment, you know what I mean? But motherfuckers get trapped in that shit.
And can't get out. Can't get out at all. They say trouble is easy to get in, but hard to get out of. He said any processed meat is cancerous. Tell a juice lady it's a glizzy, not a hot dog. Dion said, who that stud on there? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. No studs have been on here. Turkey tacos. Yeah, Earl. All that. You know, just as a substitute. Sometimes it might just be good to give your body a break.
Well,
If
you
you can,
know, it's like I say, it's about leveling up. You know what I mean? You learn certain stuff, and now it's time to stop that because you know better. Let's do something different now.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Tiarsha said, Kamar, how do you know which fruit to eat? Meaning, I used to eat
The ones
cantaloupe
with the seed.
until the one time it was on recall. She said until it was a recall on it. So now I eat honeydew melons, red grapes, and watermelon. I eat ground turkey with spaghetti and chili. She said I do eat country style ribs and hog head cheese every now and then.
Right. Hey, as far as the fruit, you know what I mean? Like the cat, right? It probably was a recall then, but you know what I mean? That don't mean it's bad now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And look for the fruit with the seeds. Eat the fruit with the seeds in it.
Okay. I've heard a lot of different like things on the
Like
seed.
stuff get recalled, you know what I mean? But then after a while, it's over because that usually just be a certain batch that was bad.
Yeah. I
Like, and it's
watched
all type of shit. Like we got the lunch meat right now. So what that mean? We ain't nobody gonna eat sandwiches no more.
ever again.
You know what I'm
Good
saying?
shit.
Like once they get rid of that shit, you know, and they always had dates and time periods and shit of which stuff is recalled.
Yes, but that's how they know what to recall because it was that
Exactly.
specific shipment that went to this area
Exactly.
type shit. Yeah. I hear that.
So don't let it
Um,
scare you so much.
Atlas Burns said encore. Dion said, this motherfucker Dion, stupid as hell. He said he stop eating coochie. I don't have no comment
Nah,
on that. I have no comment on that. I
you
don't know.
lying. That's my comment. He with Dion a wild boy, man.
The other white meat, right? Oh Lord, that's too adult. Man, listen, I had a bunch of other stuff that I could have. I feel like we got to the kind of core and the gist of what's going on because we won't be back on until Monday. Kamar, it's Wednesday, weekend coming up fast. What you got? What you got popping?
I'll be at the Fondy Market Saturday morning. Other than that, the House of Vitality will be open, live, and popping.
Okay. Man, I got one day this weekend. I gotta take my son and drop him off at school. It's gonna be a very surreal experience for me because I just remember this dude 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old, telling me what he wanted to do and telling me how he was gonna do it. And me telling him that's fine, but whatever you do, you got to be serious about it. You got to have some understanding. You have to be dedicated to it. You have to be driven. And it, like football in particular, like my son is not a big guy, never was the biggest dude, but he always worked his ass off no matter what team, field, court, whatever I put him on. You could look around and say, well, he ain't one of the biggest, but goddamn, he worked harder than everybody else. And he always was informed about what he was doing. He knew his position, he knew what plays and whatever. And so I was always optimistic, saying that, you know, he seemed like he gonna be all right. And so I'm just happy that he's gonna get to do something that he said he wanted to do since he was a child. It is very, very fulfilling. Like I do a lot of stuff right now in my own personal life that I said I wanted to do when I was a kid. Like when I grow up, I'm a boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna have this, that, and the third. I'm gonna move like this. This how I'm gonna be. And it's one of the things that I enjoy most about my life is that a lot of that stuff I've gotten to do. I still have a couple left, and I'll let y'all know when I hit those benchmarks. But just to leave him now at school in somebody else's hands and not be there to yell from the sideline and look out and you know, not that he needs me to, but I guess it always made me feel needed. So it's like a change to the next phase of my life. So it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a crazy situation. I'm just hoping I can manage his mother because I know she's gonna really be like, my baby. And I don't do good in them like them tear jerker moments, Kamar. I don't do well. Like if my girl is crying, I'm like, could you stop crying and shit? Like I turn into like a caveman. Like I have
I don't be like that though.
I'd be like for real. Cause I don't want no parts of that. I'd be like, nah, man, come on, man, with the crying and shit. But yeah, man, I'm just very proud of him, and I hope that this is the beginning of his adventure. I thank God that I was able to do it. I still can tell anybody without a shadow of a doubt, the best years of my life, besides raising my children, was college. It's just too much. It's just so much fun. And I got a bunch of brothers for life. And you know, it changed my perspective, getting away from here, getting dedicated to some, figuring out what my talents were, what my strengths and my weaknesses were, and then saying, okay, let me work on the weaknesses and build them up. It's an incredible experience. So I hope he's able to enjoy it. My daughter just graduated from college, so she's kind of ready to relate to him about, you know, you're going to go in this way and you're going to come out this way. You're going to learn so much over these next 4 or 5 years. So shout out to little Kev, man, and praying for safe travels for me and mine and safety for him. And if you got one, I know a lot of people got kids, especially the group of boys that my son came up with, the athletes. A lot of them are going to play, you know, sport somewhere in college. So it's like, man, it's a group of these boys who they all know each other, whether it's basketball, football, track. And so just to keep himself associated with other young brothers who was on some positivity and he never even strayed towards the dark side. He's always just been like, nah, that ain't me. So very grateful for that. Let me see. Dion said, I'm going to Alabama to take my girl son back to Alabama A&M. Shout out to him. Man, shout out to everybody who got a youngster that's trying to do positive, and encourage them. Let them know it's cool. Let them know you're proud that they doing well. Like I'm happy that you have not, because God knows I didn't want, my number one thing, Kamar, was I didn't want him to do what I did. I took the long road, right? Like I took the hardest. I don't know what it was when I was young. I'm like, nah, I don't want nothing easy. I took the hardest, like, you know, the hardest path. And I just was always nervous. Like, man, if this Barnes kick out of him, like it has with a lot of us in my family, it could be detrimental. If this Mallet kick out of him, it could go left, hell in a handbasket. I'm just glad that he just has been like, nah. So shout out to all y'all, man. Just understand everything we say on the show is about our opinion. Nobody on here has all the answers. Everybody on here is a work of art still in progress. And nobody here takes anything personal. So any disagreement that you may have heard or any kind of, it's all just what we do on the show. So if you enjoyed that, please share my show. Please support Kamar. You know, get to the Sherman Phoenix. If Rail was here, I say get his book. Support Courtney, the Juice Lady in the village with her organization. Support. You see the common denominator here, right? It's all about us doing for us, like Hmongs, like Mexicans, like Asians, and every other minority group that comes here and don't know their asshole from their elbow, but they get it together. They get right. You got to stop giving away power. You got to stop giving it away. And somehow, somewhere, we're going to have to start taking some of it back. But that's a whole other show, man. Please do not allow your criticism of the community to outweigh your contribution, because if you do, you just like this dumbass motherfucker brother from the Hilton talking about, I did what my boss told me to do. A coon. I will see y'all, man. Peace and love. Keep your head on the swivel.